Hey, what's up everybody? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're doing a live stream again. It's been a while. I used to stream all the time. Then I streamed a little bit and then nothing at all. So we're going to try to add this into the channel, get a little bit of new content out there. For this one, we're going to be talking about Toy Fair. And when I say we, I mean me and my friend Brian, and you guys don't know him. He's not really a content creator, but he is very much into the toy scene and that kind of thing. So it's going to be me and him primarily, or he and me primarily. And we'll be talking about different things at different episodes, and we might have people on. We probably will definitely have people on at some point. But for now, it's going to be the two of us. We're going to talk about Toy Fair, and you're not going to see him. He will be a voice in the ether. But he is super knowledgeable about toys. If you like the way I handle toys and talk about toys, you will like the way he talks about them. He's the guy I go to talk about like plastic formulations and things like that. So he's very knowledgeable and into stuff. And his information, there's some links in the description below for him. Brian, are you there? Are you want to introduce yourself? Or at least part of toys.
Wanting them to
Oh,
be
hey, hold on. They couldn't hear you. It muted the audio when I switched over. Introduce yourself again, or start over. Start over. We're gonna have a little bit of growing pains. Things have changed a little bit
Yeah.
since we did this last time. It shouldn't have been muted, but it was muted. He's good now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I make toys sometimes, but I'm like I draw and sculpt and stuff like that.
Yep.
I know a lot about plastics and things, but I'm a hobbyist in every sense for all of these things.
Yeah.
I guess I'd still do professional commissions and stuff for the things I do, but everything individually is a hobbyist thing.
What's your favorite thing to do with action figures that isn't taking them in the bathtub?
Well, that's hard because it was taking them in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like posing them. I mean, I'm really critical about them.
What
I
about
like them to
modifying?
be,
Would you say modifying them is your favorite thing to do?
I would say I try to buy things so that I don't have to modify them. But I do modify them. I put in like special lubricants and stuff because they need to be a certain way for me.
Definitely need the lube.
Really need the lube.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough of the chit chat. We'll get into more talking about things later. So what we're going to do tonight, everybody, is we're going to run through the things I thought were interesting at Toy Fair and what Brian thought, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the stuff generally. We'll get into some of the nitty gritty. And then after this episode, we'll talk about more specific things. Like in 2 weeks, we're going to do this every 2 weeks. We'll have different topics. Some of it might be drama based. This might become a drama channel. I don't know. We'll see how things go. We might just talk all kinds of crap about every other YouTuber. You never know where it's going to go. But for now, we're going to keep it simple and just talk about stuff at Toy Fair. So we're going to just switch over and see if it works. I think it's working. You guys should be able to see my screen. And these are things. Some of these things are interesting to Brian, some are to me, and some will be to you. But these are definitely not for me. So Brian, you can go ahead and talk about what these are and what you think about them, and I'll switch the images a few times here.
So I don't like Super 7.
That's true.
I'm not alone in that.
No.
But like these look fun, like fun Mothra and Batra figures, and they don't look like crap, which is saying something. And there's other Super 7 stuff that actually looks pretty good from Toy Fair, but like when their final products come out, even if the sculpts are good, they just kind of are not good. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, everything I've seen from them, they look nice when they're showing the renders and things, and then in hand they look so bad and they're so expensive. So do you
Yeah,
think these
they're
paint
like
jobs are gonna make it through production? I don't think so.
probably not, no.
Oh,
But,
all
like,
right, real
Batra
quick,
looks
hold
cool.
on
I
one
don't know
second
about
before we go. Everybody out there, since this is our first time, are the audio levels okay for both Brian and myself? I'm sure I'm loud enough. I'm guessing I'm loud enough, but can you hear him okay? Do I need to adjust anything? Are you guys good with audio? Audio is good. At least one person saying audio is good. Okay. Oh, also, I guess because this is our first time, I'm just jumping into it like I've been doing this since forever, and it's been like 2 years. Hold on one second, Brian. I need to say this. You guys, we will try to respond to chat at least as much as we can reasonably, or at least I will, and then Brian will be able to after what I say, because he's not here with me.
he said
Um,
I sound a little bit louder. I'm just gonna, like, push the mic away.
I can also make. We'll see. Other people are saying it's good, so it'll be fine. Um, if you need me to see your comment, you have to send me money. That's how that. No, I'm joking, but it's true. If you do that, then super chatting or using the thing in the description. That's the only way to guarantee I see the comment. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'm not pushing it. I'm just saying I can't read every
Yeah,
comment as we're
we're gonna
doing
try our best
stuff.
to read it, but, like, I'm not the best at multitasking,
And
but
we're
we
going to be
will.
talking and doing stuff. So just letting you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get to anywhere near every comment. Okay. All right. So go ahead and keep talking. What do you think about this paint job? Is it going to make it through production?
I mean, I don't know, because, some of their paint jobs do, like, I've got a couple stores in Minnesota that have entire, like, Super 7 sections. I get to see them in person, and some of them look fine. I just know that the joints are gonna be bad, so I never buy them. And they're also, like, 40 to 60 bucks for standard
Yeah.
figures, and they're like they're
Yeah.
not figure arts or anything. Even if
They
figure
are
arts isn't supposed to.
not. They're not. It looks like they're showing the legs as accessories. Like, is that what this is? Is that what
No.
this photo is? What?
Are they just
That's a
showing it separate because they're showing the back?
I don't know, but that's an interesting way to advertise your figure. It has limbs. The limbs will be included in case anybody
Are
was
they not
wondering.
posable? Are they just I don't know. I can't tell from the pictures. I guess we're gonna have to
No,
wait. And that's what
the
sucks with
renders.
renders is it's like,
Oh,
no,
that's not one of them. You want to move on?
no.
You want to move on away from the moths?
We can yeah, we can move on to this. We can do other stuff first too
Do
before we
this
get
because
into
this is
the
the order I have it in. This is what
okay.
we're doing
So that
now.
means
If
okay.
you're good for
Because
that,
this is the you don't like the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku design as much as I do, because I do really like it.
yeah,
But
you love it. You want some
yes,
more of it.
I don't necessarily like the sculpt for this. It's fine. I know that they can change stuff, and I know it looks better, but it's like it's the first thing, and it was just shown off. I get it. The price of this is stupid though. What was it, like 7,500 yen, which
Yeah,
is like 50 something USD when it's the same size as the other one, and that one was like 2,500 yen or 30 something, and it's only like 25 bucks, and it's the same size and everything for
it's
the
a
Diamond Kid
lot.
Goku. It doesn't make any sense. So this
Yeah.
price is stupid. And I was
All
I
right.
was gonna get this, and it's like, oh, they're not
What
gonna
do you
overprice it.
what do you think about like the way they've cut it up for articulation? Because the hips are clearly different than some of the hips we've seen, but they don't have the thong or things like that. What are you thinking about that?
Um, so they made the lower torso too big compared to how it looks in most everything. I'm glad that the
Yeah.
hips don't look like they have drop downs or anything. I hope not. I don't
I'm
know.
glad you mentioned the hips because what I'm thinking is the hips look like the old school hips, like the very first hips that I put some chapstick on and it's like fighting me. I hate chapstick. Anyway, that's that you guys are going to get comments like that probably from both of us as we're doing this. If you're new to
When
live
it's
streams, it's going to happen.
when
But
it's
look at the
really
hips.
small, I don't mind the hips looking this way, but I don't want them to be drop downs. If they're drop downs, then I'll be like, because it's tiny. This figure's really small.
Yeah.
But for the same
Here's what I'm
reasons, the
thinking.
torso. Go ahead.
He's gonna It looks to me like the point where they connected the hips when you pose him, he's gonna have a dangly bit. And I don't like dangly bits on the crotches of figures, and I think he might have that. I think the way they did it is not gonna be the most aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it doesn't look by any means like really good. Um, I think that's a soft piece though, like how they've been doing
It
lately.
should be. I think Piccolo was when I reviewed Piccolo, but I'm not sure 100%.
I don't know why they had to do like extreme cuts in the torso and stuff. They probably could have just made it one piece. If it's this small, you could have just done like one joint
Unless it
and
has
then made
really
it
good
like,
range. I don't know if I have. I don't have another
unless it, yeah,
photo. Yeah, it
I
might,
don't.
but
But it's like I love this design. I have a feeling the final product is just going to be okay. No.
probably, especially given the price point. Let's switch over to a new a new line of figures that is definitely going to be impressive. But first, there was a super chat. I will click on it. Super chat says, "Hey Anthony, you're cool, but that other guy, not gonna lie, you like him, Brian. You're already making friends. Look at that. I don't like the way it's cutting out the text on there. I'll have to try to adjust down. There we go. All right, yeah, Brian, you already made friends.
Yeah,
Still cutting
great.
off. Don't like that. Have to fix that. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. I don't like that Brian's getting more compliments. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat, I almost said Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat Classics 7-inch line of highly articulated, ugly ass figures. So, I would just like to say for myself, this is just a giant waste. I don't think anybody wants 7-inch figures that are like this. I think 7-inch collectors are looking for a nicer product, and these don't look it. They're not going to pose well. They already look gangly as hell, super skinny. They don't have high-end articulation, and I just don't get it. I don't understand why. These two don't look bad. I think Liu Kang and Raiden look all right, but who cares? We have 7-inch figures that are significantly better from Storm already, and they're like a different price point. So I get that, except Storm already exists. People already bought them. I don't see anybody wanting to add another 7-inch crappy version. Even if it's like $25, I just don't see the need or the desire anywhere. What do you think? Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, I do. Somebody asked where I'm seeing Super 7 stuff in Minnesota. I'm seeing it. There's these places called Nerdin' Out there's like 3 locations. So if you look them up, you'll find it. These figures look like back when we were like doing customs, somebody would post this in like 2010 and be like, "Oh, that's impressive." For an official company,
Yeah.
it's like it's just they kind of look like blobs.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't think the renders looked terrible. I mean,
no, the renders were promising.
But these, yeah, I mean, they look more like what McFarlane's doing lately, which is to say, just weird. They just look weird, and they look like customs. I don't know.
Well, these are the painted prototypes, so they do look
right,
a little bit like customs, like in that sense, but they don't look like they were purpose built for what they are. They look like they were kit bashed to me.
They look very weird. Yeah, they look like things just put in places that shouldn't be. Stuff.
That's enough. Here's some more McFarlane stuff. We're just going to kind of go through a few things. We're not to talk about every individual figure. There's a Batman. It's going to reuse a lot of parts, but I think it looks freaking cool. And the more Batmans that look good, the better. If you want to just chime in as we go through this, go for it. Otherwise,
the Batman looks good to me.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any more comments on Batman before we talk about this? Because I really need to talk about this.
No.
Look at that photo. This is Keanu Reeves in this independent comic called Berserker, and it's actually based on, like, it's supposed to look like Keanu Reeves. I'm guessing he's like created by Keanu Reeves. There you go. And that's supposed to look like him. And so there's actually been more solicitation photos for this figure recently, and it looks better. But this is what he showed. I think this was actually at Toy Fair. Look at the gun. Look at the gun in his right hand.
This looks. It doesn't look like Keanu Reeves, and even if I don't know. This doesn't look like it's for me at all. But the gun looks stupid.
It's like as big as his entire body. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to look like Keanu Reeves. Like, it has the same beard and everything, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to look like him. And the other ones do. But that gun is as big as the entire body.
The handle looks like a normal size, and it just looks like everything else is like a gun that's just made too big.
Even the handle's too big, because that should be at the bottom of his pinky. That part that curves out. Can you guys see my mouse, by the way? I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it just looks like.
It's double. It's a 2-up. They gave him a 2-up set of accessories. Oh, freaking Todd. Freaking Todd. That's the best I can say for Todd. Okay, apparently when I copied these photos over, they didn't go in any order, so this is going to be a dynamic, wild ride for the audience,
Okay.
and it'll keep people viewing. So this is the new Pickles that is the Dyma Pickles, but obviously not the mini version, which is what I was waiting to see. And I'll let you talk about it first. And then I'll say, if you have anything to say about it, you go first.
So it looks like what Toriyama's been doing lately with the proportions. So it's accurate to what it's supposed to be, which is the Dyma stuff. But it doesn't look like old Piccolo. I think aesthetically speaking, it looks cool, but it just doesn't look like what Piccolo used to look like. And I don't really like the head. But again, it looks accurate to what Toriyama's trying to do right now. But I don't actually know one-to-one what this Piccolo is supposed to look like.
Yeah, I think it looks good for what it is in terms of matching source material and being a good-looking Piccolo. He's a lot more slender. I'm still waiting for a Piccolo that's shaped like a triangle. I want a beefy Piccolo. We haven't had one of those yet. I think it was the one with the cape that came the closest. This one looks good, though. I'm concerned about those hips. They keep trying new hips that I don't think they need to keep trying on. Maybe they're good. It looks to me like they're just going to be a swivel, and then they're probably going to function like all of the current hips function. Why are they cut up like that? I don't get it. They keep making everything shaped like chaps of some variety.
Especially because they have such good hip designs sometimes, and then they keep doing just. I think they should just have the hip cut below, just the thigh cut below. Just don't put a flap. Why?
The flaps. I don't get the flaps, man. At least they're not trunks level flaps. That's a good thing.
No,
they look smooth.
And they don't,
look at that. They're smooth.
Like, does this look better than having just a separated piece? Not really. And
no,
it definitely doesn't work better. It gets annoying.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'd rather have a cut across the thigh because that's just a straight line, whereas this creates a giant cavity where next to his peeper, and I don't think that looks any better, and it can't work better. So we'll see. And then the knees. I don't know if I have the knees here. Nope, apparently not. Way to go, Windows. Thanks for shuffling all my photos. The knees. I don't know if the knees on this guy look bad, but one of the other figures' knees, or maybe it was this guy. I can't remember. Hopefully, we can talk about it tonight. Look like absolute butts, and it might have been Piccolo. I think it might have been.
Jay Stern asked if I knew Toriyama passed, and I know he still worked on Dyma before he passed.
Yeah, his work is still coming out. Hopefully we show the knees later. I think it was this guy whose knees look like straight butts. They look fine like this, obviously, but when you bend them, it's not good. And they've done better knees. Tangerine from Demon Slayer had perfect knees, and Pickles here does not. I think it's him, but we'll see. All right, anything else you want to say about this guy before we move on?
No.
Okay. No. Looks good. Needs more paint, as always. The cape's good enough. All right, good enough. And then these are the renders that made him look decent, but I wanted to show this because we get an exclusive of Sub-Zero. I hate that my photos are all out of order now. But the exclusive repaint Platinum Super Duper Limited Chase variant from Todd actually looks freaking cool. And if the figure looks like this, I would probably buy it, even if I already have Sub-Zero. But if it looks like the other thing that they showed at Toy Fair, just with blue arms, easy pass. But I think that looks nice. Like, the lady looks crappy, but I think he looks pretty good there. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The lady looks stupid, but he looks cool there. And so did the other one. The guy without his shirt. He looks fine.
Liu Kang. Yep. I think that's Melina. All right, there we go. There's some more renders. Yeah, the renders look nice. And then
that looks really good.
The lady looks like crap. The other guy. Oh, by the way, this is live, so I might swear. Brian will probably swear. Don't know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna try to keep it PG-13 for you guys as much as we can. But nowadays, it's PG-13. You can get at least one F-bomb in per 2.5 hours. So we'll see. But yeah, these renders look nice. Like really good. I think. I mean, for a reasonable price, of course. And I don't think the figures are gonna look like that though. We'll see. Okay. Before we move on, there are a couple super chats I want to grab. All right, the first one is from Brandon Reed for $5. Thanks, Brandon. Do you think Storm Collectibles will make Mortal Kombat figures again for Storm Arena? I would bet money they're trying to. And if WB is smart, they will let them. Because Storm Arena, we're going to talk about that tonight, I think is going to be the thing to look out for. I think if Storm is smart, and I think they are, and they're passionate about what they're doing, which they are going to do everything they can to get Mortal Kombat in that smaller scale and just obliterate any competition, I think. So hopefully. And then we also have one from Ghost Tab, longtime viewer for $2. Thank you, sir. I think you're a sir. Probably. Glad to see you doing lives again. Thanks for the reviews. Well, thank you for watching. Happy to be doing live streams again. Eventually, I'll be doing sculpting streams again. That'll be fun, but that's probably a good ways off. And then we got another one, $2 from Laser Pants. I think that guy might do YouTube stuff. I don't know. Says, bro, stop hating. I am. I do be hating sometimes. And that's what I'm doing right now. But thanks for the $2. I appreciate it. And I did steal his colors on purpose. He likes the blue and purple, and so do I. All right, let's continue. Are you still with me, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some NECA. NECA, a company. Oh, by the way, I should probably say this. All of these photos, not mine. They're from Toy Arc or some other place. These ones are Toy Arc. I can see it there. Some of them will have other. Oh, I left his comment on. From other places. I didn't go to Toy Fair. I don't see the point. It's whatever. Anyway, they're not my photos. So go to Toy Arc or who's the other place? Toy News. I don't think I got any from them. There might be other places. I don't know. Anyway, okay, NECA Turtles. Do you like these turtles? These are modern turtles. I don't like them at all. I hate them.
No, I don't. These are the ones from like 2014 or something, I think.
Was it that long ago? Yeah, you're right. It has been. Man, I'm getting old. So yeah, not super modern. They got worse, I think. I hate these looks. NECA will probably do a fine job.
People are saying 2012. Yeah, it looks like NECA's doing a good job. Yeah, if you like these turtles, I'm glad that you guys are getting more.
Yeah, they.
I know that these are popular. I know people like these. They're just not for me.
For sure. I don't like the wrapped feet and the gap teeth and things like that, but they look cool. Revoltech made these guys.
They just have really long legs. Like everything just kind of looks.
It looks like Cartoon Network, like early 2000s Cartoon Network to me, and that's not my jam. All right, let's see what else we have here. Did I go too many things going on here? All right, so here's another one. This is Cartoon Wingnut Screw Loose. I wish they looked more like the original toys, but that's whatever. These look freaking cool. If you're into the cartoon, these are a great addition, I think, to your collection. I haven't purchased much NECA stuff lately at all, but these are going to be really displayable. Probably not real posable, but they do a good job with the cartoon things. Is this something you're into at all, Brian? I don't think you're into turtles.
I like the old like Mirage Comics designs and stuff, but they won't release. They did toys of them like in 2006, but they won't release toys of them now, even though they do. Is it Mirage? I don't know. It's
yeah, no, you're right. That's what it is. Yeah, yeah. Really supposedly it's a licensing thing.
I guess so. They make so many from it, though.
Well, yeah, I don't know, because you would think they'd have the turtles. I heard that they're trying to do more turtles that match that, but so far they haven't, so I don't know. So here's a new Shredder, Cartoon Shredder updated version. Looks better than the first one, which is like 1,000 years old at this point, so just looks like another NECA figure. Nothing much to say other than it looks good.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
I mean, I don't know Shredder like you know Shredder, so I would leave that all up to you.
It looks like the cartoon. Doesn't sound enough like Uncle Phil, I'm guessing, but that's who voiced Shredder. There's PandaCon, another cartoon version. Looks fine. Again, I wish it looked like the toy, but that they're not going to do that. So
I'm glad they're sticking with painting the whole thing and then adding on the cartoon lines and stuff. Still, that's nice.
I think it's cool. They look nice. They always look really, really nice on a shelf or in a photo. So
yeah, they do. I wish I cared more about the designs. These look cool.
Yeah. Well, they're going really deep with the turtles in the cartoon line, and I don't know how many people care. They're going really deep, scraping the barrel. But it's cool, I guess, to fill out shelves. But
there have been shelf warming out here.
They do. So. I don't even have I can't find NECA stuff here. I can always find turtles. They're pretty, except for the Last Ronin stuff. But maybe that's just because there's fewer of them. Speaking of. Here's some more Last Ronin figures that I just don't know anything about, and this looks to me like barrel scraping also, but maybe these are super popular designs. I don't know. at all, but they look like they're going to
I've
be.
never seen them before, but the Raphael looks really cool to me. I think that's Raph.
It's not. This is Odin, Uma, and a couple other people. These are not the. These are someone else. There are new turtles at this
Oh, he
point,
has a
and
beak. Okay. I like the
yeah,
second to last guy.
this guy. Yeah, they look cool. I'm sure they're gonna be semi-posable, but really cool looking figures, and that's kind of what NECA's thing is. So
Yeah.
lucky for people who are interested in that. These two. This is April O'Neil and her daughter. I think it's her daughter with Casey Jones, if memory serves. And to me, like I get that they're probably look like that in the comics, but that's a pair of ugly figures that I just don't. I
Yeah,
don't want to
these
own.
look really stupid.
I
Everything
don't
about
like
this
those
looks really stupid.
designs. The designs are bad. The faces are ugly. I know they're drawn that way, but I just could not. I couldn't. I would not put those on my shelf. They don't look good.
No,
I mean, the figures are
no.
probably fine, but character design wise,
And
big
like
dislike.
the baby characters look really stupid too. Like,
Yeah, I think they're maybe the ideas are scraping the barrel too. This is some kind of baby turtle with an old school Walkman, but there's like robots and things. So like they're in the future. There's cybernetic robots and things, and he's got a Walkman with a tape player, no less.
it
Okay,
looks like Borderlands.
yeah. Well, yeah, it does. So you know what? Some good Borderlands figures would be nice. At least Borderlands 2. Let's talk about this. This is the new Shredder. I mean, it's old design, but new Shredder from Super 7, which is, like we talked about, not everyone's favorite brand, not everyone's cup of tea, and not always known for high quality figures. But this looks good, and these are supposed to be actually pretty well articulated. So I'll let you talk about it first, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents before we move on.
Oh, me. Oh, yes. I thought you said
Yeah,
you were going to talk first. I'm sorry.
no, no,
Um,
no, no, you go first.
so this along with the Casey look really good, like sculpt wise. To
Yeah,
me, like just aesthetically, I don't know what they're supposed to like. They're supposed to be accurate too, but like just aesthetically, these look awesome. But it's Super 7, so they're probably not going to be awesome when they come out.
yeah, I agree. I think they look great. I don't know if I have Casey Jones in here. He looks good too. I'm only getting Shredder. This is going to be my first Super 7 purchase. I'm only going to get Shredder just so I can review him. He's got all the articulation he's supposed to have. Like as an action figure, that's what you want. I don't think they're going to execute it well, and even what little paint's on here, I'm guessing it's going to look cheap and crappy. And that's what I've heard about Super 7. That's what I've experienced. I have no expectation of a quality figure for 55 bucks. I can't see it being worth it. But I'm going to review it because it's my job. And it's a cool design, so if it's a good figure, great. I hope so. But 55 bucks that's a high price point for
Yeah,
what looks like a standard action figure with a couple accessories. So
yeah, yeah.
we'll have to see.
It should have been like 25.
Yeah, this is going to combat the Spider-Man Hasbro for most overpriced average thing. Okay, back to NECA because Windows shuffled all my stuff. So these are just I don't know that these are in line with like the Universal monsters. I think they have transitioned to just random monsters. That's what it looks like. I don't see. Nope, it still says Universal over here by two-headed thing. But Krang up here. Nope, it doesn't say it. It says it right here. I don't know if these are licensed. This is Dracula. It kind of looks like the Universal Dracula, but these other things don't look like anything I'm familiar with. So I don't know. These don't even look like they're articulated yet. So I have no idea. Other than Dracula looks like a Shredder. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Um,
I don't think those are Universal. I don't recognize them as anything. You?
this is definitely not for me, but I hope that whoever this is for likes them because they're making them.
Yeah. Yep. The paints look awesome. Like fantastic paints.
Yeah,
This one's already up. The Dracula's already up for pre-order. He looks like a standard NECA figure, frankly. But these guys have paint out the wazoo. I just have no idea if they're actually a licensed thing or if NECA's just going ham with the crazy designs. So, they look cool. All right, let's talk about this. This is already out. Zelda is already out, and then the girl Zelda is already out also. No, she's not. She's a pre-order, and Boy Zelda just released stateside and has been out for a while internationally. I'll start with this one. I'll talk first. I don't care at all about this version of Zelda. She doesn't do a thing for me. If you're going to do Zelda, either put her in the dress or put her in the blue and brown. So this is going to be just basically a statue on the shelf for me. I don't need her as an action figure at all. And then Boy Zelda over here, I don't like this version of Zelda. I mean, okay, I'll go back to Link. His name is Link. I don't like Blue Link. It's not my thing. It's fine. The games are fun. I don't care about it. And it's like 8 inches bigger than every other Figma. It's way out of scale. And people like to argue, but it's not a scaled figure, and I get that. But it still has to go on a shelf somewhere. And it's huge. And I'm going to be reviewing it like next week, but it's huge, and so I'm completely uninterested in owning this. It looks nice, but I don't really care at all. What do you think, Brian?
I don't like the art direction in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I like the art director because he designed Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. So
Yeah.
I like him, but these, I mean, they don't. It doesn't really look like Link to me. It looks like it's a fine design. It's okay. I've heard the figures are okay. People have been enjoying them. I know some people will be like, well, it's not scale, so it doesn't need to be X size. And it's like, well, I think people who are buying these hope that it lines up with the old ones.
Yeah.
And also, in general, larger figures, especially when it's like Figma doing their polypropylene joints and stuff, kind of suffer a bit from weight issues in the joints and being a little more wobbly. I don't know if this one does. So smaller, in my opinion, is usually going to be better, and I don't know why they made these like 1.5 inches or an inch bigger. Doesn't make any sense.
So big. They're so glaringly out of scale. Like, you can't put it next to any other thing in their line. It's so strange to me. Even Samus. He's bigger than Samus.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know because it was clearly a deliberate decision. I just don't like. Oh yeah, let's make it bigger. Why?
Yeah, because they already do a good job with the details at the smaller scale. So
yeah,
it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't
get it.
I don't know.
And I don't know. It doesn't look like he has any of the new types of joint. Like maybe a little bit, like in the knees or something. Like was it Dread Samus had all kinds of new articulation. This guy,
he does have like drop down hips and stuff.
Does he have the drop downs? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. But I mean, I don't even think it looks accurate. Like his face does not look. Maybe I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom. I only played the first one.
It's
so
not really
different.
It's not really that accurate, but it's
didn't look like it.
I mean, they're stylized in their own way. It's not like, does it look awful? No, but it's not. No, it's not what it's supposed to be. But I wouldn't say that I'm like the biggest fan of how it's supposed to look either. So
I think this is the least Link-like Link we've ever seen out of all of them. I would take that old side-scroller Link over Blue Link personally. But that's just
I don't know why they're doing blue. I like his hat.
Speaking of cool designs, I think this semi-samurai looking Ganondorf from this game is just awesome. I like it a lot. Maybe it's not samurai, whatever. It looks cool. I don't like the bare feet, never have, never will. Put him in a Naruto cartoon and he'll fit right in, but I don't like the bare feet, but I like the rest of it a lot other than the shoulder area. That looks crazy to me. I don't know what they're doing. It makes him look freaking weird right there in the shoulder. I'm hoping it can be hidden. But otherwise, I'm very excited for this release, and I'm hoping that his knees and legs aren't an abomination. You can weigh in now, please.
So there are some things about this that I like. I really like how the head was designed, like just as a design, because it looks a lot like Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. He's cool otherwise. Not really. I really like Ganondorf's old outfit, so I don't really like this like Camino thing look. I don't hate it. I think it's cool. I just think it's not really for me for what I want to see from Zelda. The toy itself looks fine, other than the shoulder, like you said.
The rough shoulder.
I don't know how big it's going to be. Is it going to be
I didn't play the game. I don't know if he's supposed to be bigger than Link, and I don't have a picture of them next to each other. I think he should be about like, I think Link should come up to like his shoulder to bicep area. I don't think he's that big, but I'm not sure.
They kept him really big in like Twilight Princess, so I don't know. Oh look.
Okay, so the other thing is, I don't know if you mentioned this in the beginning. You're a big OOT guy, Ocarina of Time. You're the foremost expert in the world on Ocarina of Time. Link artwork. And would you say that that is your favorite Zelda game?
It's my favorite Zelda game, yeah. And I like to like study the designs and stuff in it. It has problems and stuff. I'm not gonna admit that it's like I'm not gonna say it's like perfect or anything, but I
I
really
should
like.
not have mentioned Zelda. This could be an hour and a half right here. The stream's over, guys. Unless you like Zelda. No, go ahead.
No, I'm
Say
not
what you
gonna.
want to
I'm not
say.
gonna. I'm not gonna. But I do like. I really like. I actually prefer the models in the original game to anything, to the art and stuff. Um, and models are the original designs, so that's. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't just like it because it's the original design. I like the models more than the art. Um,
So would you say what you would like most out of any company, but particularly Figma, since they're making Zelda figures, that you would like some OOT figures? Would that be your thing? Or no, because they're only going to be based on the artwork, probably.
if they
For
do
me, I
like
want them.
something
I
like
want them based on the artwork, definitely. But what do you
you,
want?
yes, you. I I want to make my own. There's no way that anybody else is going to be able to make something that I, at this point, because nobody's going to be like, oh, let's do the old polygonal Ganondorf. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, no one's going to do that.
So,
You are correct.
but I like seeing interpretations. I want to see a company just try.
Hey, how about
Any,
this? How about next stream we do a segment where it's just things that we want either to make ourselves or other companies to make or companies to make.
yeah,
That'll be a fun
yeah,
segment.
yeah, I agree.
Let's do that. Okay, let's move on to this. This is the Figma green guy from Doom, and the reason I have this here because this is just a reissue as far as I can tell. It looks taller here than it did in the actual release. I think it's just some generous photography. I doubt they actually changed anything. I'm guessing he's still squatty and weird looking, but he is holding the chainsaw by the blade. And I just had to point that out. I don't think there's a handle over there, is there? Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
Where's his hand?
Either
Let's see where his hand.
I don't know. The photo's very strange. I don't know exactly where the
I mean,
handle is. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
hope he's holding it by the blade. That would be really funny.
It's a funny photo, but yeah, that was a crap figure that broke and was terribly sculpted and everything. I mean, like the details are good, but it's built like an Ewok. So hopefully this is a better version somehow. But I'm guessing it's just going to be a standard read.
Yeah.
Oops.
I didn't get the old one. But
Don't.
I want to mention something because somebody asked if it's me on the stream. I didn't mention my online name, so I'm Lalem24 online. I don't go by
yeah.
Brian online. Anthony calls me Brian because
I have special privileges.
yeah. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, the figure looks cool, but I remember it not being good when you reviewed it. But I'm also not big into Doom.
I'm not into Doom at all, but I thought it was a cool design, so I was like, cool, I'll add that in.
You don't like Doom?
I never played it. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I just never played it. But I wanted to put him next to Halo, and thought that'd make a cool display. But his elbows are bad, and everything broke on him. And this makes him look great. The actual figure had like his legs were cut off at like his knees. He was so stumpy and weird looking. I mean, maybe this is just a really nice photo or it's a new version, but he was really disproportionate. He was built like a gorilla. Anyway, that's mostly probably going to be I think the chainsaw is upside down. I think that's what it is. I think this is the bottom of the back of the handle, and this is the top.
handle looks like it's
Yeah, and here's the pull cord. They put it in upside down. Way to go, good smile. You guys just really put a lot of effort into that. So here's the next one. There's probably not a lot to say here other than this will probably sell really well to a certain demographic of collectors. We're not going to go into it any farther than that. It has the upside down ab crunch though, and that's what I wanted to talk about here. Tell me what you think about the upside down ab crunch.
Stupid. The only time, if you have like a really squat torso and it's like flat and you can only fit in an ab crunch, but you can do swivels on top and bottom, then it's fine. And it's like a small toy.
Sure.
That's like it. If you're doing human anatomy, you don't need, don't need that.
And look what it does. Look what it can.
Because torsos are mostly circular from the top.
Yep. Why do we need all this cut? It's so ugly. I don't get it.
It looks stupid.
This figure should not have anything here. If anything, they should have just a regular ball peg, but
Yeah,
it doesn't need
and
anything because it has a plastic break in the black to the skin tone right here, right underneath it. Just put some balls in there and let it flex. Make this flexible and let it flex.
and I know
There's no
I guess the
reason.
point is to be like, oh, there's 3 joints, so it's gonna mimic the spine more. But it's like, well, that's annoying. I don't want to have
Yeah,
3 joints in the torso.
don't need it. Don't need it. It doesn't look good. And I like her sword though. I'm gonna steal a design like that for. All right,
Yeah, the
moving
sword.
on. Very cool. This is something you're definitely interested in. Brian's also
Yeah.
very into Mega Man. This is the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Mega Man X, which we don't know the size, but what do you think about that from just this very basic photo? What do you think?
I think I'm sure it's accurate for the thing it's trying to be. There are so many things to adapt from Mega Man. So I think all like everything that we've seen so far has been accurate to like something. For me personally, um I really like the 4-inch Nell X and um the 301 proportionally. They're not like perfect for me. This one's more like the Kotobukiya one with the bigger legs and bigger thighs.
Yeah.
I know people like that. That's not what I like as much. Um, it's crazy that we're getting so many Mega Man figures though,
I
out of
wonder
nowhere,
what's going on with Capcom. They seem to be licensing out way more than they used to. So I'm very
and they
curious if,
still won't let anybody do Resident Evil figures, which is
which
weird.
is weird. I would love to see some Resident Evil figures. That would be awesome. But this looks good to me. This reminds me a lot of the old Mega Man toys. I don't remember. There's like it was like a 10-inch one, maybe like it had visible screws and stuff like that. It was pretty old. That I get the
The
same
Jazzwares?
vibe from. What's that?
Jazzwares?
Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't into collecting
2004.
that much when I bought it. It was pretty big though.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this just
Okay.
looks like it's gonna be very toy-like in its proportions rather than based on what I remember from the games at all. I guess, like you said, there's artwork to basically match anything. But I'm concerned about the scale more than anything. If it's big, I'm not gonna care.
Yeah.
If it's smaller, I'll be interested in it. But that's
And
otherwise they do a
Hiya
good
Toys
job.
does they do so many small figures that I don't it'd be weird. Like, oh, we do mostly 1/18 scale figures and then we make monsters, but now here's a 7-inch Mega Man. I don't think it's gonna be 7-inch, but
No, but
I
it
don't know.
doesn't
I
look
can't
like it's
tell.
1/18. Based on the rack that he's on, it doesn't look 1/18 scale because he should be like way tiny, and it doesn't look tiny to me, but
No,
maybe.
I
Okay, let
agree.
me get a couple of super chats here before we move on. We have Samson Quardov. I'm sorry I pronounced your name wrong, probably, with PLN10. I don't know what that is, but thank you nonetheless. He says US domestics are my EU imports. They cost too much. Well, that is the nature of having many countries on a big rock. I guess that's just the way it goes. Unfortunate, but nothing you can do about it. Have to ship things, have currency conversion. Thank you, though, for your super chat. And then we have another one here from Obi-Wan Kennedy. Nice name. 199 super chat. Thank you very much. Love seeing you discuss new reveals again, Anthony. Well, thank you. I love doing it. And I really like to do more long form type stuff like this. Reviews are great. And it's what I do to help the community. And I have the right mind for it. It's a technical thing, and I'm a technical type of person. But I really like to talk about things. So it's nice to get to do it. And hopefully these streams take off and we get to keep doing them. It's fun. And maybe even more and more types of things like this. That would be a lot of fun. All right, one more here. Ooh, that's a big one. I don't know if I can make this share properly. Let me see. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, from Luis Herrera. I'm probably not pronouncing that perfectly. I can't roll my R's, but there's a double R in there. Anyway, $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Just dropping this here for a friend, since you coming back to streaming is genuinely nice. I would love to see more guests. By the way, I'm almost done with that Rivals art piece. Oh, that's you, Louis. Is it Louis or Louis? Either
Yeah,
way,
Walrus Louie. Yeah,
right.
he's
That's you.
yeah,
I
he's
know
a
who he is.
I know him too.
I don't always know because people use different names across different things. Yeah, do the art piece and then I'll share that. That'll be cool. He's drawn in his style one of my rival clan's characters, so that'll be cool. Thanks for the color references. No problem. Brian's and he knows Brian too. So yeah, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Big big super chat there. Thank you very much. And let's see, are there any others that I missed before we move on? I don't have a good way of finding them. Maybe there is a way that I don't know about. Just scrolling through the chat. There's one. There we go. Jay Rand for $1.99. Anthony, show us one of your customs. I don't make customs for myself. I have 0 customs of my own work. I have made them all per commission, and I don't do commissions anymore because I'm making my own line of action figures. And so I don't have anything to show you. If you want to see them, they're on my channel. Lots of customs, many customs. That's why the name is Anthony's Customs. It's how I became who I am. But now I do reviews and make custom parts to sell to people, and am working on my own line. No more full custom figures, commissioned or otherwise. I just don't have. And I can't change the YouTube name. Can't change it. People know who I am. And I still do custom stuff, technically. So can't change it. Don't know what I would change it to. Couldn't come up with anything better than Anthony's Customs, since everybody knows it. But maybe someday it'll change.
Because it's like, what are you going to do? Anthony's Toys? But there's probably a bunch of toy stores called Anthony's Toys.
Yeah, it could be Anthony's Collectible. It just sounds corny and lame. And Anthony's Customs is who I am. It's who I got started as, and I still do custom stuff. And so whatever. I don't think anybody's losing any sleep over it. Another super chat for $1.99 from Aztec Warrior. Been a fan for 10 years plus. I know, I recognize your name. Believe it or not, I recognize most people who are around often enough because I'm in the comment section all the time. I read every single comment. So if you guys have been around, I probably will recognize you. But anyway, thoughts on the 4-H dragon. I like how you spelled thoughts. Should we put some thoughts on the dragon in Photoshop? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So just hang tight. Thank you, though, for the super chat and for being around for such a long time. All right, that's what she said. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Here we have another thing from Hiya Toys. It's Joker from Persona 5. I think it's Persona 5. That's what it looks like it says. This is just a weird choice for me because Figma already made a Joker that's pretty damn decent, and this is probably going to be about the same scale. Probably cheaper. Is there a need? Is there a demand? I like Joker because he was in Smash and it's a cool enough design, but I don't have any desire to buy another one. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't like the design of Joker or like a lot of the Persona stuff, which I don't want to say because I think people are going to get mad at me for saying it. It's just I don't hate it. It's just not for me.
Okay, so starting next stream, it'll just be me and Brian's he's not gonna. No, you can not like things. That's what I do. You're supposed to not like things. That's how we get better things.
I don't know which one looks better because I just don't like the style that like a lot of anime designs have with like the tiny hands leading into the larger waist and the larger hips and then leading down to the tiny feet and then the small head. It's just not for me.
Persona has a
and
very
the design
specific
itself,
art style. Yeah.
The design itself doesn't do anything for me either. So even if it was like proportions, it just doesn't. But I hope that if people want this and they like it more than the Figma, that they enjoy it.
You're so diplomatic. Yeah, sure. I mean, hopefully everybody likes everything that they want to like, and that would be great. As far as my interests go, I only like Joker because he's in Smash and he's a badass in Smash, so I like him a lot. I played him a bunch. But this version of Joker is not the one that I'm familiar with. I don't think it's the same thing. I don't remember all this fancy detailing and stuff. So, you know what? I hope it's a good figure. Hiya does usually pretty good stuff when they don't have to do faces, and he's got a mask on, so I think people are going to have a fun collectible. It's just not something I need. But it looks like it'll be all right. But yeah, to comment on that, yeah, they do have weird proportions, and I don't generally like it either. It's I don't like the big torso, like the thick, long torsos and then skinny limbs and tiny hands and things. Not my thing either. I'm right there with you. Speaking of weird proportions, wow. Okay, so this is RoboCop. This is their one that's not out yet. It's been delayed, I believe. Assuming this is the same one, which is the 112 scale RoboCop, which I was very excited about when they first announced it. He looks super squatty to me, and I know that's a little bit of foreshortening in the photo, but it looks weird. What do you think?
It looks frumpy.
Yeah,
real weird. Me and Molly watched. I'd never actually seen the original RoboCop, but I watched like half of it like a week ago with Molly. I need to actually pay attention to it when I watch
Just
it.
to
So
be
that's why
clear, Molly is a person he's watching it with. He's not talking about a controlled
the
substance.
truth.
Just to be clear, he's not watching RoboCop on Molly. Okay,
No,
go ahead.
Molly's my girl. Um, and I, it's it clearly put a lot of budget into the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, RoboCop as a design isn't for me, but I also just think it's really cool in the movie. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't buy a toy of it, but I wouldn't buy a toy of Doctor Who either. But there's like, you know what I mean? It's that kind
Yeah.
of thing for
Yeah.
me.
I
Same
get
with
you.
Rocky. I love Rocky. I wouldn't buy a toy of Rocky.
Well, that's why I wanted to leave this on here because I think this actually looks really good. Even the
Yeah.
soft goods, the head sculpt, like all of it looks fantastic. I have zero desire to own it, zero.
Yeah.
But it looks freaking good. So anybody who's into Rocky, and I know they're out there, that looks great. I think you're gonna enjoy that. Then we have Jesse Pinkman over here. Another thing I could not care less about owning, but this one doesn't look as good. This one looks like the soft goods are oversized, and not just in the way his clothes were in the show. I just think it doesn't. I don't see the point. I don't know why anybody would really want this unless they're really, really jonesing for a figure of this guy.
I had a
And
couple
Saul
friends who
looks
were
all right.
excited for the Breaking Bad stuff. It's not for me at all, but I if people want it and they sell, that's awesome. Since there's not really good figures of that kind of thing, so no.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I
like
think we
it.
have
Somebody's making it if somebody wants it, you know.
yeah, I agree. I think we have a couple photos. I have another couple photos, or one photo maybe, of just this up close, so we can talk about the little ones a little bit, but it's not in line. So we'll see if it shows up, but otherwise, that's probably good enough. RoboCop looks terrible right there. I will probably be reviewing it. They send me review samples, and I told them I want it. So hopefully it doesn't suck, but it might. All right, moving on to another thing from Tord McFarlane. That's a thing. By the way, Brian, do we know each other from the old Spawn message boards? Is that how we first
Yeah,
met? Yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we know
Which was a
Todd.
fun. That
It
was
was
a really
great.
fun place to be in. Yeah,
It was. It was before, back when message boards were a thing and action figures were fun. But now we have
oh,
Todd making DC stuff, though I have to say, and that's why I put this one here specifically. This is a repaint. I love the way this looks. I don't know if it's from the comics or anything. I don't care. It looks a lot like a toy I had as a kid, and it looks fantastic for a $25 figure. I will own that figure. It looks so cool to me. What do you think, since you're not super into comics or 7-inch scale
I think it looks
figures?
really cool. I wouldn't buy it, but I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
I just like. I mean, it's crazy how good some of their stuff looks, and then how strange some of their stuff looks.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I
And I
think we're
like
gonna get
Todd
to talk
McFarlane a
about that.
lot. I loved
What's
his like the Halo Reach toy line is one of my favorite toy lines.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just wish they would do some things like they did before.
Anything like they did before would be nice. Other than the chases, the chase variants shouldn't be a thing. But yeah, people like to say I shit on Todd McFarlane, or I shit on McFarlane toys too much. It's like I don't. I
I
like
think you're
that brand.
disappointed by what they're doing because they were
Yeah,
doing such good stuff before that you liked. The Halo 3 toy line's like one of your favorite toy lines ever.
definitely. And they do things like this where, okay, it doesn't have as much paint on it. It's $25. I get it, but the sculpt is fantastic. It's well proportioned. That's fine. I love stuff like this. I don't have a thing against the brand at all, as long as they do a good job. And as far as having a thing against Todd, well, I mean, he makes weird choices and says weird things, but that's about it. Other than
We don't
I
we
applied
don't
for a
know him,
job.
you know, like we know him as like an internet personality, like what you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they did when I was in Texas. They had a position open publicly, like they were hiring for a toy designer specializing in articulation engineering with experience in ZBrush. I was like, that could be me. I applied, never heard back at all.
No.
And I messaged them and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not hiring for that anymore." It's like, "Yeah, well, go ahead and make some more crappy action figures. How about that?" Anyway, here's a Superman that looks like it's got kind of a soft sculpt, but is a not bad standard basic Superman. Other than, well, what do you think, Brian? What do you think I'm gonna say is the problem with this figure?
The diaper or the
Okay,
soft kit. I don't know, but I mean, the diaper's been an issue. I
it's
don't know.
funny because all of the things are true. The diapers go down too far. That's true. For me, it's the head sculpt. They have not nailed a super. You probably
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
the head
enough
sculpt
about their.
doesn't.
They haven't done a good Superman head except for once. That's why. Okay, fair enough. The diaper is a problem. The head sculpt's a problem. The cape looks round. I don't know about that, but the head sculpt is crazy, if you ask me.
Yeah, the head sculpt looks dumb.
What do you think? Do you think, okay, so you're not into comic books super a lot at all. What do you think about this kind of sculpt? Because it's very soft. You can't see muscle groups really at all other than the pecs and like the obvious things, like he has shoulders.
I think
Do you think that looks good, or do you think it's just too soft, or what is your take as a sculptor and artist?
so. Obviously, some sculpts are trying to capture like the look of the outfit starting to, taper outward as it enters in a curve or something,
Hmm?
which makes sense for like if you're doing Christopher Reeve Superman, right?
Yeah.
But this is presumably not Christopher Reeve Superman. It looks like
I don't think so.
I hope not. And yeah, but in the comics, everything is defined because they're cartoons, so they get to do that.
Yeah.
There are definitely things that work one way or the other. It just looks like it's a soft sculpt on this one. So it just looks kind of like, I don't know, like just a bad toy.
Right.
I don't know.
That's what I was getting. That's what I was hoping you would say. What's the point of something like this if it's not
Yeah.
what the source material looks like? Like superheroes are generally drawn as ripped, naked people that are
Yeah,
colored in like they have
like
clothes on. That's
yeah,
it.
it's like just spray painted. Yeah.
Yes, this guy looks like he's got so little detail. He could be wearing 3 or 4 sweaters to hide all of that, and the abs look
Yeah.
super weird. Anyway, it's probably the thing is it's probably one of their better Superman figures, and that tells you why people hate this brand when they do. It's because they can't make a freaking Superman. It's
The
really
shoulder
frustrating.
the shoulder cup design works well if you're doing like clothing and stuff, but when you have anatomy,
I don't like it.
it,
I don't like that
yeah,
design. People love it. I mean, it's better. Like if you want the range and like on those orcs from
it
Medi
just
Toys or Memory Toys, whatever, they do it too. And I get it. It serves a purpose, but it ruins the sculpt if you ask me. That's why I'm
yeah.
not doing it in that way on my line for sure. All right, let's move
I
on.
feel
That's
like it
enough.
could just be done better.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, here's another one. This is also
Oh,
from
I didn't
Tord.
see this.
This one is not bad, I think, in a lot of ways. This is looks to me like it's the first suit. I don't know
Yeah,
for
it looks
sure,
like the
but I
first
think
suit.
so.
I think it is too.
Why are the gloves, the gauntlets glossy and the boots are glossy? He was not glossy in the movie, was he? I don't think so.
I don't know. I just watched these movies like a week ago.
Me too. I
with
did
Molly.
too.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
we finished The Dark Knight Rises like 2 nights ago. So,
So well, this is different
this
than that one, of course, but I don't remember
well,
any
we
gloss. Do
watched all
you?
three because Molly hadn't
Right.
seen any of them.
Right.
And it was I think they're really good movies. This looks fine. He looks a little too long or
Yeah.
something. I would
He
have to
looks
see source
stretched out.
material. He has like the modern McFarlane flair for proportions where things just kind of look a little goofy. But I would need to see a side by side to actually know. I think the suit in the later suit looks cooler. I think my dad prefers the first suit because he likes it when the cowl is like one piece, right?
Right. Yeah. Which they didn't
I
do, so it looks like it's the later suit because they didn't connect the cowl.
But he has
So,
like a significant indent on the later ones.
well, because it's like a helmet basically.
Yeah,
So this
which
is
I think is cool.
my point is though, if you're gonna do the first one, and they did the same thing with the Michael Keaton Batman, you need to have the head connected to the neck because you lose that
Yeah,
silhouette that makes that suit look like that suit. To me, if you block this guy out and just look at the head, you wouldn't know for sure which one you're looking at. And I think the best part about the first suit was that cowl transition, even though it didn't work. And obviously, they even talked about it in the movie. I can't move my head, but it looked a
yeah.
certain way, and this doesn't. So that kind of ruins it for me. And then the
Mhm.
gloss, I really hope that doesn't stay. I don't remember it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it looks right.
Did you ever get any of the Mattel ones they made for the
I got a
movies?
lot of them. Yeah, I got a lot of them. They were like a little bit smaller, but not like 5-inch scale. They're like small 6-inch.
I want to see those at some point.
I don't think I have
Those
them
are.
anymore. I might,
I
but
want to like. I just want to look them up or like mess around with them in person. Go to like some thrift store or something and find them.
they feel a lot like toys and not like collectibles, but they actually had pretty good
Yeah.
detail.
Yeah. They
Okay,
seemed like.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go
No,
ahead.
they
That's
they
fine.
seem fun. I don't know. Like they always seemed
Yeah,
like something I wanted to get, but I just never got them.
yeah, they were like, I think in a lot of ways collecting was better back then. They weren't super collectible, but they were. I mean, like they didn't feel like high end things, but they were nice, and they were. It wasn't. They weren't pretentious. Let me put it that way. There was like something about them that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Oh,
feels. That's a good way to put it.
okay, let me do a super chat before I forget it because I haven't figured out a good way to do this. This is from Big Money Collector. I have to figure out a way to make it so that their thing. Okay, 4.99. Thank you very much for that. Do you have thoughts on the huge beast deities Broly? I got mine in this week. These Chinese companies are absolutely killing it right now. I do. I have thoughts, and my thought is I don't like buying third-party stuff from brand or of brands like Dragon Ball. Things like that. It's not really a brand, but uh I can't bring myself to spend that kind of money on unlicensed things, even though they look nice, and it does look great. I'll tell you that. And the good news is my brother did buy one, and he's going to have it soon, and I will review it. So I don't have to buy it. You get to see it on the channel, and everybody wins, except I won't own it. So if I end up liking it, I guess I have to fight my brother for it. But it does look cool. It looks great. But that's all I can say about it right now because I don't own one and haven't handled it yet. And I don't like buying knockoff or bootleg third party Dragon Ball stuff because there's a line already making that stuff and it's highly unethical. But it looks cool. Okay, here's another thing from Todd. I don't know what the heck this is. It reuses some wings from a previous release, but it looks kind of cool. It needs like about 10 times more paint in order for it to look like it's a finished product, though. What do you think about that, Brian?
It looks fine. I like the head, I think, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I mean, the proportions are
it's.
kind of cool. I wish the legs were a little different.
I don't know what
Like,
this is. I'm really curious. I've never seen this design before, and I'm guessing it's not accurate to the source material, given that it's using wings from a different figure that already weren't very accurate. It was a long time ago, so I don't think these are going to be accurate to this either. I agree. I think the head is the best part. I don't actually like a lot of the specific details, but you know what? It actually almost looks like a Halo version of Batman armor for a Covenant character. The big
yeah,
hands on the long arms, it looks alien and it's huge. So maybe it's just a
yeah, it does.
robot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Just recolor it and then look more like Covenant.
It's
Like
a
maybe
very
mix them with like
strange
full armor.
design. It's probably a build-a-figure. I'll probably try to get it and review it, but it needs paint. There's no way you can release a figure in these colors without paint. I think that looks really, really bad. Where do you stand on the paint debate, Brian? Do you think things need more paint, or are you more in the vein of I don't care if it's plastic as long as it's there? I want
I
paint on
pref-
everything.
This is one of the few things where we're different, and it's mostly just because I mean, obviously it depends. If it's something that needs to be colored in a certain spot, I want the color to be
Well,
there. But
right.
I
Yeah,
also
given that. Let's say that's
I
the
like
default. You'd need it.
like how Gundam figures are with where it's just the plastic like ABS surface or something
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about paint chipping and I can handle it more and not be worried about things. So that's
I'll
what
give
I
you
like
that
about it.
one. I agree with that. Yeah, I think I
But I
don't care
don't
about
think
the
a lot of
chipping.
companies I don't think
What?
a lot of companies are doing it well. Uh, like if Hasbro's doing it, it's not because, sometimes they do it good and sometimes McFarlane does it good. But like this just looks like, it just is missing something.
I think if you're gonna have details hooked into the sculpt, which obviously you will for most things, if it's not just like a bare body, like that Superman, it doesn't need paint. Shading, great, whatever. I don't need the bare colors to be painted. But for something like this with all the panel lines, I think it looks like real butts to just have bare
Yeah.
plastic. If you can't have panel lines, unless it's something like a Gundam, but even then, like everybody paints those things. Even the robot Damashi, I think some of them would benefit from
I
paint,
prefer the
but I
robot
don't think
Damashes
they
without
need
the.
it.
Yeah, I think they separate enough parts and have like gray between the things that need to be
Yeah,
separated. Some people panel line them. I don't. I like them
yeah,
pretty.
I agree. Just things like this, like certain things need it. This is one of them. I
Yeah.
personally, I want shading on everything, shading and details painted in almost literally everything. Like here's another example. Here's Jim Gordon. They're going out, they're pumping out stuff before they lose this license, it looks like. Two things stood out to me on this. He has a very small head for not being a superhero. So he looks a little bit weird, disproportionate. That's not surprising from Todd, though, and I don't mind it. For a comic book character, it's still fine. But the way they designed his diaper,
It's
this
stupid.
the crotch piece down by the his special place, that's not a good call right there. Don't do that. I don't need a figure with a camel toe of Jim Gordon. That's not a thing I need. Um, that's really all. And the knees and the shoes. The head sculpt's nice, I'll say that, and the jacket's okay. What the hell? What are those shoes? Is he wearing slippers? And the knee. Okay, I give it up. I give up. This is bad. This is why they lost a license and people hate this brand. Look at those knees, Brian. Look at those. Could you imagine sculpting a knee like that on either leg?
No. No.
Holy crap.
And the thing is, there's a lot of interesting style choices with how they did like the folds and stuff that are cool, and like the hands look cool.
Yeah.
And so clearly there's definitely people who are working on it who care about it, and then they just like throw in joint cuts and then a giant diaper.
It's so bad.
Yeah, the head's too small. I mean, if it's supposed to fit with something in universe, even if it's not a superhero, I get it, but it still just looks like he's a superhero, which was weird because Jim Gordon's not a superhero.
Yeah. His body's, I'd have to check, but his arms fit his torso, but they still look
Yeah.
long because I think he's stretched out. I think he's just too stretched out from the neck down. His legs look long, his arms look long. It's hard to say on the torso, but the head's too small. I do like the head sculpt though. And the painted hair looks nice. So I like that. But it's just not enough, I think. There's too many problems. Those knees, these are action figures. Todd hates articulation. These are action figures. Here's one that we need to talk about because it's the first standard Joker they've released. And we have purple knees that don't match. And I think the purple plastic in this case needs paint. It looks really bad to me. What do you think? Is that just me needing paint on everything, or does that look cheap and unfinished?
I, he he has the modern McFarlane look where it just looks like it could change things and make it look less. It looks cumbersome to pose. I don't know. I don't know about the paint. Yeah, I agree that or maybe just a darker purple. It just looks like like taffy.
Yeah, that's true. The black looks nice back there. So yeah, I think you're right. A darker purple would solve that problem rather than throwing paint on there. And there's something about his face. I don't know exactly what it is, but that does not look like Joker to me. Like obviously it looks like Joker, but there's something weird about it. I don't know what that is. And I don't know, are you into these kinds of things enough to
I
care?
wouldn't know, no.
No.
But
Okay.
I mean to me it looks like the Joker. He looks lanky, like how some of the Jokers look. So from
Yeah.
a completely not big enough fan of these things, it looks okay.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think I just figured it out. He doesn't have enough like black makeup around the eyes, and I think Joker like tends to have the darker around the eyes, and that's what's throwing it off to me. But yeah, I think the body is there. It's decent, other than having the goofy articulation that Todd does. That's really cumbersome, like you said. I think if somebody wanted to repaint this, it would look fantastic. I mean, comparatively.
Yeah, I agree. No matter what, this would look better with paint. I agree.
It's not bad. I think it'll do. I think it's a little bit too little too late, obviously. Hence the license issue. But yeah, I think there's some potential there. Other than also another weird diaper crotch situation going on. I don't need camel toe. All right, is this that same Superman with a different head? Looks like it's the same body. Very bright blue, very bright red. I don't think it's the photography. We don't really have to talk much about this, but it actually matches the artwork.
Yeah,
Almost exactly
like
color wise and like silhouette wise. but you can see
But I
even
would
on that
add
little
in
bit.
I would add in the blacks. Like, I would do the comic
Yeah,
coloring.
yeah, yeah, they're already not painting anything, so just throw a little bit of black, and you'd be good. But also, you can still see how much more defined like you can even see the serratus
Yeah.
muscles right there, just a little bit on the artwork, and then nothing
And
on
they're
the.
not at all on the figure.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? It looks okay. If it's like a $22 figure, I get it, and as long as it's like not put together terribly, I could see why people would want it. But it's to me,
I mean, that looks okay. It looks better than every other Superman I've seen them do. So
oh
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, it definitely does look better. That's for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. If you want the light blue Superman, I think you'll be happy. This one I wanted to talk about because I think Todd is actually maybe he makes the strangest choices out of any company ever. He owns Spawn. How many Spawn figures have we gotten from him? Like almost none compared to the number of Batman. Why isn't he
And
making
yeah,
like
for the new
a
stuff.
normal Spawn figure? Why is he making Iron Man Spawn? Who wants that? Who? Why don't we have a regular Spawn figure that's not Mortal Kombat Spawn? I just don't get it. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, I want a regular Spawn too. I don't like the Mortal Kombat Spawn head, so I would
Yeah,
like them to do normal Spawn because
like
Spawn
I
is a
have
cool character.
those. This is cool too. It's I mean like yes, it's fine. Make it.
This is cool, yeah. This is fine,
Make
but you're right.
freaking
It's
normal one.
obviously people want the normal one, so it doesn't
I
really
don't
make.
get it. It's so weird. But yeah, like
This is neat looking. I just get worried about like the hips look like they're going to be like a stressful time to pose because it's going to be a big giant soft piece and it's going to be really
yeah,
annoying.
look how high that diaper goes. I think this is the diaper cut up here, up in the abdomen. And then the diaper has no hip cut out. So his legs aren't going anywhere. Oops, anywhere without trimming a lot of plastic. But whatever. Like I mean I might get it to review, but if it's not regular Spawn, I just really don't care so much. Okay, moving on apparently because I clicked. Why is this a thing? This is NECA's Garbage Man from the Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh yeah,
I,
I love this. I'm 100% buying like 4 of these,
are
maybe
you
6.
really? Or are you making a joke?
I might get 7, like 8,
Okay, so you're making
20
a
of
joke
them.
because I don't understand it. I I know some people out there want to fill in like, oh, I can recreate the movie. I don't I don't even remember the Garbage Man. What is I don't get it. And also his diaper is like that's rivaling any of the McFarlane diapers. This guy's packing and I just don't get it. I don't understand why it exists. I don't know why anybody wants to buy this. I don't know why anybody wants to make this. The best thing about this is the mini garbage bag. I think that's freaking
Yeah, I like
cool.
the garbage bag.
That's nice.
I,
Otherwise, I don't get it. I think that you know what
I
it
like.
is. I think it's one of the. It's either Eastman or Laird, one of the original Turtles creators. I can't speak English. Played this role. I think that's what happened, and
Oh,
that's why
okay.
they made this.
That would make sense then. But I still
But
wouldn't buy
do you're right. Who wants to buy it? I get it, but does anybody actually want it? Is my point.
it. They just seem like they're doing everything and anything, which again is cool for turtles. But where are the Eastman and Laird turtles? I know if they
Black
can't
Void
do it,
says it
but
is
that's what I
Kevin
want the
Eastman.
most.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't get it. Okay. All right, so this is another thing. I don't know what the hell this is. I think these are concept art these are based on concept art for Bebop and Rocksteady for the original movies, the live action movies, I think, but they're terrible, which maybe is why we got Toka and Razar instead because their heads, these guys look like Mezco figures
They look
or
they look
Migos
silly,
or it looks
but
yeah, and the details.
I think they look like they fit, kinda.
You think?
Well,
I don't. The turtles looked so realistic for what they were. These would totally be immersion breaking if these showed up on screen. I don't think these work at all, and
I
I
like the
wouldn't buy
paint.
these. Paint, yeah, paint's good. Well, NECA paint's nice, but I don't get it. Does
I
anybody
wouldn't buy them.
know?
Yeah, no, there's no circumstance I'd buy these either.
I don't know if anybody knows. Anyway, those are super weird. I don't like how big the heads are. This Rocksteady you could get away with. Bebop's head looks really weird. I
Yeah,
think
no,
size wise.
Rocksteady looks passable. But you're right, that the other one's head is just
You know
It just
what? I
doesn't.
think if Bebop looked better, I'd be okay with Rocksteady, but they look too cartoonish, I think, given the realistic nature of the movie. Because Toka and
Yeah, when I
Razor
saw these, I
they
wasn't
looked
thinking
mean.
live action at first.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a strange thing. Okay, moving on. I will not buy those, and I don't get review samples from them anymore, so it doesn't matter. These are cartoon version of Toka and Razor. I don't remember this at all. I think they look really cool. They're gonna go nice with my other robot versions from the
Yeah, those are
cartoon.
cool.
They're not gonna pose for shit, but they're gonna look nice on
No,
the shelf. And I'm swearing more than you are now. This isn't good.
you're talking more, so
Yeah.
what? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. A few shits isn't a problem for a live stream. Yeah, I think these look like super cool looking figures. They're gonna pose terribly, I'm sure, but they'll look nice. And you will not buy them, I'm sure, because they're too big and not something you care about. Correct?
Yeah, they're. I mean, they're too. The designs are cool. They're too big, but also they NECA figures just don't pose well enough for me.
What
And I
about the
get it. I'm
fact
not
that it
gonna.
comes with cereal? Do you like that?
Um, yeah, I wouldn't buy it for this year. If it had a garbage bag, though, I might buy it.
There you go. The garbage bag does seal the deal. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about a little bit of Hasbro stuff, and this is the 2-pack of War. Is it Warpath? I can't think right now. And X-23. I think it's Warpath. Of course, it's cut off on the photo. So this is using the Omega Red body, so it's a fully reused body for Warpath. X-23 is probably reused as well. It looks like it. Me, and I know you don't care about Hasbro too much, but you can weigh in on stuff for sure. To me, these don't look impressive enough. But the thing I wanted to mention most about this, like they're fine for Hasbro, whatever.
Yeah, they're fine.
This is the best male body that looks like a comic thing that they have done. It has this really goofy neck and shoulder area that they've had to hide on multiple releases, like Sabretooth with big fur and stuff like that. It looks so bad to me, without anything hiding it. Like if this was a real life person, his arm would be coming out of the middle of his rib cage. Basically, it's so low
Yeah,
and far away from where it should be. It looks terrible.
that was a really common thing for Hasbro for a while. They just had
Yes.
the that whole section just like elongated and pushed up.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
weird.
it's weird, but this guy does have like the pinched in knees, pinched in ankles, big muscles in between. Like it has the right general look. If they just So here's the thing, like they screwed it up with Omega Red, but he had the big shoulder pads and it hit everything, and that's probably why they did it, partly at least. Fine. Same thing with Sabretooth, they reused it. Fine. When they did it on Venom, it looked weird. They're doing it here. Just make a new torso, you cheap bastards. Make a new upper torso. Move the arms where they belong, and now you have the best body out of all of your lineup. But they don't ever do anything that requires effort or cost. So frustrating. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to say about this is Archangel here in the back, which we're going to talk about in a minute. All of these guys should match. Archangel's bright silver. These guys might be metallic gray, but it just looks like gray to me. Unless I'm wrong, that for some reason Archangel isn't supposed to match, but I think they should. So screw Hasbro if they are supposed to match, and if they aren't, then screw me. Anything you want to add before we move on?
No, they look fine. I don't know. I mean, they have all the issues you said. But like the light,
Yeah. Okay.
you know,
Oh, hey, here we go. Something's in order finally. All right, so here's their new Archangel, which uses
looks like
basically their
white.
new standard bot. What's that?
It looks like it's white or like pearl
It's
white.
I think it's just gonna be very bright silver. But his
Mm.
wings, like the draw for this guy is his wings. That's his whole thing. I think the wings look like hot garbage because they are perpetually curled like a lot. And then they have a hinge, but
The
this
hinges
photo
are.
tries to hide it because, like, okay, so he's standing at an angle and his curved wings kind of look like they're doing something. And in this angle, again, same wings curved just from a different angle. Okay, fine. If you're going to take a photo from under his feet, that's wonderful. If you put him on a shelf, though, one of these photos is going to show. This one gives you a good example. Look at how
Yeah, that
sharp
looks
the
stupid.
curve is. You can't have him standing and his wings out. It's going to look ridiculous. Look at that, how sharp that bend is. A 90-degree bend to get his wings to go straight.
Would you have been okay with these being like fabric and with like air lining?
No, these can't be because I mean they are metal. so it would look bad. I mean,
Yeah.
the characters, they're metal in the comics, so I don't think that would work. I should have gotten an image. Let me see. Well, it doesn't matter. Everybody who's watching probably is familiar, and maybe you've seen it. They did an Archangel before, and he just had flat wings that bent at the joint, and that was better. It was a slightly different design, so okay, a little bit of leeway there, but they were just flat. So if you wanted to bend them, they had bends, but otherwise they looked fine. And the bends made sense. Like the bend was like at the peak, so it was okay. But to me, the curve, you couldn't do plastic, and I think, look at that. It's There's no way that actually looks good on a shelf. It kind of looks good at first impression in the
I
photo.
I agree with Alfonso that just swappable wings
Yeah,
would be cool.
yeah, I think swappable wings is the way to go. Just like I've always said for tails, stop articulating tails on the Dragon Ball figures. It never looks good. Just
Yeah.
give us swappable tails. That's fine. Now, these are big. These wings are big, so I get that would raise the price, except he's already $40. So he's a standard Marvel
Oh
Legends
god.
body with some wings for $40. So yeah,
Yeah, he'd
we should
better
have
have like 4
alternate.
sets of wings at 40
Yeah,
bucks.
exactly. That's my point. For $40, they upcharged us a lot of money for some wings that really look bad. Unless you're doing very specific photography, most people aren't. Most people are putting it on a shelf and doing a hero pose. These will not look good in a hero pose at all, unless you're just gonna wrap them all the way around him. I don't think there's a photo like that. Like this photo, that looks cool, man. That looks super cool. You'll never see that unless the
Yeah.
figure's in your hand. It will never look like that for you. So what's the point? Just Hasbro's
The hinges
so
are very
disappointing.
the hinges remind me of like the old 90s Batman toys. Like
Yeah,
in
they do. Oh man, but yeah, that looks cool. Like Archangel's one of the cooler. Like he's not super involved, but he's a cool design. Just kind of like Todd says, if it looks cool, do it. Yeah, okay, I get it. That's nice. This looks cool. You'll never see it like that ever, unless it's in your hand, or if you have it on a stand and you're sitting underneath your shelf, looking up at it. So okay, so here's the some of these photos are in order. Cool. This is the Marvel Select Archangel, different design, obviously. Um, I would prefer this. This is also, by the way, $30.
it
It's
looks
an inch.
it looks a lot cooler.
It does. It's an inch taller. It has different design of wings for sure, but that's gonna look like what it looks like on your shelf. It's no fancy photography. It's just there. It's less articulated, sure, but I think it looks way better. The body looks better. The musculature looks better. There's some weirdness to it, but it's it's 25% less than the Hasbro one, and it's a bigger figure. Me, this is like a no-brainer. Hasbro's full of crap on their pricing, and
Yeah,
this is the
I mean
pickup.
that just looks better in every way.
Nope.
And I don't even like the size of Marvel Select stuff. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, me either. I only buy like Hulks and things typically because you can fudge it. I don't care about a 7-inch Archangel. But this looks so much better, and Hasbro could have easily made this, and they've done this
yeah,
suit.
the
And
wings
that
look
was the
really
one with
cool.
the other wings. Yeah,
The
I
wings
think
look
this
like
is cool.
something McFarlane would have done 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And their head sculpts, they kill it with their head sculpts. Hasbro still struggles a lot. They released this golden head on one of their older Archangels, Hasbro did, and it was just painted. The mouth was actually just paint lines, and it looked so bad. It looked like a Halloween mask. But I think all of this guy looks like a really fun, cool collectible to have.
Yeah,
The other one doesn't, if you ask me.
wish it had like better thigh swivels.
Yeah, well, you know what? Their Captain America had some, and they look like similar legs. I wonder if it's just going to be in the probably, my guess. All right, let's move on to the next one. There we go. Annihilus, which is reasonably sized. Like you could definitely fudge this into your Marvel Legends collection if you wanted. And I think this looks great too. It's not going to pose super well, but it's going to look really good on a shelf. I love the styling in the sculpt. I like the paints. What do you think about that?
It looks good. I don't know. I've never seen this character before. His
He's
helmet's
not
cool.
super mainstream, but here's the thing: it's 7-inch scale, so he's probably a little bit taller than 7 inches. $30. $30, brand new
Yeah,
sculpt. Like to compare this to what Hasbro is doing to me is like it tells you everything you need to know about Hasbro.
yeah. No,
And he gets his
Hasbro's.
little toad thing, little mutant baby. I don't know much about Annihilus, but he's got a mutant baby, so there's that.
Yeah, that thing is that I was like, what's the little gremlin?
I know nothing about this character. I mean, I know a little bit, but not what that is. All right, so there's some Marvel Select. I think we might have, yeah, one more. Another one. This one's 35. They tacked on $5 to give you the glider, alternate heads
That
and
looks
face
cool.
plates and accessories. It's like people
I
want to say,
just
"Oh,
wish
it's
they
the Marvel license." No, it's not.
the
Look how
only
much you
thing
get.
if they just made their articulation a little bit better,
Yeah,
they could even price it a little bit higher. It would still be worth it because it's still worth
yeah.
it at the price. But if they made their articulation a little bit better, I'd probably like buy one of these. Not
You
of
know
this
what?
character specifically.
Yeah. Their Captain America posed a lot better than I thought he was going to, and he looked like crap in their photos. Like their promo photos suck. He looked good in hand. A lot of people say they can't pose better because of licensing. I don't know if that's true or not. That sounds like BS because usually licensing is based on the POA and the types of articulation, not the range of the actual joint. And since they have all of the articulation there, I think they would be allowed to make them pose more. And they just don't for sculpt purposes or whatever. I don't know. You know anything about that in terms of licensing? I mean, obviously it's different for every license because they can just make it whatever they want, but do you have any input on that?
Um, sorry, I was trying to. There's neighbors smoking weed, and I'm trying to figure out where it's from, and I want to. Sorry. Um, repeat the sentiment again, and then I'll
Oh,
tell you
okay,
what
what
we
I'm
can do.
saying is they're limited in the number of points of articulation. I get that. That's their license. A lot of people are in the comments are saying it's 20 points. Fine. But I've
They're
had people
limited.
tell me, yeah, they're not allowed to make
So
them more
stupid.
articulated. I guess probably because they don't. I'm guessing Disney Marvel doesn't want them to encroach upon the other license holder, which is
It's so
Hasbro.
dumb.
But my
Such a
point is,
stupid.
I've had people tell me that they have limitations in the amount of range the joints can get, and I don't buy that. I've never heard of a license that says that. Do you think that that is a likely case?
I considering how stupid the first thing is, I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair. That's
but
fair.
like, I hope not. They seem to work out enough, but if they really can't get more articulate, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. It's it's so stupid.
I don't get it, but either way, I don't mind it because, excuse me, I think that looks fantastic. And for $35, I think you're getting a steal, even if it is limited in articulation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I think that's
And
really good.
I imagine the people who are collecting Marvel Selects and have been doing it for a while are used to the articulation and are only getting it a little better over the years. So
Oh yeah, they're probably thrilled because it used to be
yeah,
terrible. They used to be like, I don't know, 7 POA, like real limited. This is
yeah,
way nicer. Yeah, okay. Very cool. I like those. If I was into 7-inch figures, I mean, I'll probably get them to review. Here's another one, War Machine. This has basically all of the articulation a Marvel Legends one has. It just actually looks like the source material, like a
yeah.
lot. We have two different upper torsos to change out the armor to be, I think, TV show or cartoon and then comic accurate. We have the fantastic unhelmeted head sculpt, alternate faceplate, and then the War Machine faceplate. That is the best, like standard, like not Hot Toys or something, but like let's say under $50 figure faceplate for an Iron Man figure I've ever seen. It looks exactly like it's supposed to.
Yeah, no, this looks really good.
It looks so good.
It's funny because one of the only Marvel Selects I ever had was the War Machine from the live action Iron Man 2. And I liked it at the time. It wasn't very good, but this looks much better. Man. Yeah, I mean, if Hasbro stuff looked like this, I'd probably be looking at it and sort of like, wow, I might want to buy this. But no, it doesn't.
You would think they would do that. Like they
Because
can make it look like anything they want, and they don't do that. It's so weird.
this has a lot of like really defined specific character with while fitting into the line of the other ones, but the other ones look vastly different, whereas most Marvel Legends kind of look the same,
Well, they are.
and they all
They all
kind of
use
look
the same
bad.
bodies. Yeah.
So it's weird, and it's time for a new direction.
Yeah, I agree. His hands are no good. I just noticed that. He only has gripping hands. And is there another photo? No. He doesn't have anything to grip, so that's a bad choice. I hope they change that. But otherwise, let's see. Let's see. His neck is definitely going to swivel. It's probably a single ball. Let's say, oops, single ball for the neck. We have a full ball hinge for the shoulder with a bicep swivel. Looks like a single jointed elbow,
It
maybe
looks
with
like
a
a symbol,
swivel.
yeah.
Wrists are going to be a swivel and a hinge. Ball peg for the torso. Usually the waist can twist also. Standard ball socket for the hips with a swivel. The knees are probably a single, I'm guessing, and then the
He's got a
ankles
thigh
will,
cut too, which is
yeah,
good.
yeah, and then the ankle. This guy has everything you need, really. Like it might not be as much as a Marvel Legends figure, but look how much better it looks. It's
Yeah.
that I can't wait to get this. Honestly, that torso that's laying on the floor plus that War Machine faceplate, that is just everything it should look like. I'm very
You
excited
think,
about
think Hasbro has like specifics in their license saying it can't look that good?
that. The fact that you're asking that is just hilarious to me because you should never have to ask that question about a company who's known for making toys. No, I don't think they're told to make shitty figures. I think they're just really good at it and they're going to stick to what they know. Okay, speaking of shitty figures, let's move on to some Storm Arena stuff. We're going to start with these because these are
Um,
ones I'm the least interested in. What is it? Oh,
the these don't look good, and all the Storm Arena stuff looks really good. These look weird.
yes. Now, here's the thing about Storm so far. Their big figures have had very specific styling. They've all been built like bricks, very squatty, very square, strange shapes. Some of their lady characters have been okay, but most have been terrible. They just released one. I don't know if you saw it the other day when I reviewed it of God, I can't think of her name. What the heck is her name? Whatever. The colored one right here. They just released her. Why can't I think of her name? Is it Morrigan? I think so. I can't see it on the I can't read the Japanese. Anyway, it was terrible. It was really, really bad. And I think you're
I do remember that being a really bad because I saw like people posting about it on sites and stuff.
it was
Like, oh, that looks
screwed
weird.
up. I think if this is 25 bucks, it's fine. Their prototypes tend to look way worse than their final releases. And I think with just a few tweaks, this looks really good for 25 bucks. This
Yeah.
one, though, and it looks like they both have it. And I know they put one
Oh,
of these crunches in for
why are
Blanca
they doing this?
also. I don't know. Blanca has one, the green guy from Street Fighter. He has one. I don't have mine yet. I think it's to get like into a really deep crouch for Blanca, which makes sense. Maybe, maybe, and it's hidden mostly by his pants. I don't understand why they would put it on these. It looks terrible, and I can't see a purpose. So I'm very, very cautiously optimistic about these lady figures right here. They're mostly going to share parts, I'm guessing, unless Storm's just really gone crazy and they're like, screw it, we're going to just lose money on things and make unique sculpts that look this good at 25 bucks. I don't know, but clearly, like
It
you said,
looks
they
like
do
the one
look
on the
weird.
right has a smaller lower body because her arms are about the same size.
Yeah, that's true.
So it
It
doesn't
does
look
look
like it's just
smaller.
foreshortening.
Does. You could be right. She definitely has a different upper body. That's the characters are, let's say, built very differently. So you might be right. No, you're definitely right. Look at the hips, or
Yeah.
the torso part of the hips. It's very different. Right. So anyway, those two look kind of weird. I'm very worried about the torso joint, but I want to move over to. Come on, Windows. It.
We can ignore these. We can ignore these.
Okay, yeah. Those I already reviewed this guy. These guys are going to be
Yeah,
about the same. They're
these are
fun,
like
good
out.
little figures, but whatever.
Well, not the
Okay.
super. You know,
You know
we can
what?
talk about him because he's cool.
We'll get back to the Storm Arena. It's a cliffhanger next time on talking about Storm Arena. Okay, so these guys are I'm guessing they're characters from Daima. Have you been
Yeah,
watching?
yeah,
Do you
they
know
are.
what this is?
I've watched like one episode and I have seen these guys in it. So I think the sword guy's cool. He's gonna be a big toy, so that's what sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
He's huge, it looks
but he's
like,
cool.
cuz this guy's not a
Yeah.
mini. The blue guy looks like full size. Like he'll probably be
But
a little
he's
bit
like
shorter than Goku.
I think that's how big he is in the show. He's like teenager sized.
Yeah, so
Like
probably a little shorter than Goku, and then this guy's going to be like twice as tall as Goku or
yeah.
more.
So
He's
this guy's
huge,
really big. I don't know.
gigantic.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what happens. You're not collecting any of the diamond stuff though, right?
I don't plan to. I got the Piccolo as a review sample. I'll probably I'll get the adult versions, I guess, just for fun. Although they don't look like they're going to mix in very well, so I don't know. I'm really not I'm looking for reasons to not buy more. These guys look pretty cool. Let's see. There we go. Cool. A green Majin Buu. I'm.
These
You know
guys,
what?
these
Go ahead. Go ahead. You talk
they
first.
look good for what the source material is. These look good, and the last ones look really good too. So
Yeah, I
that's about
agree.
these guys.
They look good. Do I care at all? I think
Mm.
they ran out of ideas for Super even, and now we're just getting recolors and repaints of old characters. And I mean, not literally, but it's Green Majin Buu. So to me, it's just not interesting, and I don't care. So I don't think I'm going to get into the Daima stuff at all. But it looks like if you want to, you're going to have a pretty cool variety of characters in your collection, like right away. So that's good. You could, like, that's a good spread of very different character designs to put on your shelf,
Yeah,
which I'm always a fan of. I think that's fun.
the guy looks like Cell. The guy with the sword has like a Cell type body.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Is it?
saying. They're not coming up with new stuff. He looks a lot like
Oh, no,
Cell.
I think that's cool. Personally, I think it's cool to be like take something that's like similar wise or similar, and then like, oh, this is like based on how Cell was an android or whatever. Cell wasn't in it. Wait, what was Cell?
Cell is
It
an
was a
android.
bug. Okay, so he looks like, I don't know. He could have been designed like similar to Cell, and then that allows you to use like the design archetypes of old things.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
like
put that
okay,
in like
so you're right. I don't hate it. I'm not going to force myself to
well,
get
just
into
I
it.
mean,
If it
you
was
don't
in
have to.
regular Dragon Ball, then I would be interested. It's fine, but I'm definitely not going to a new whatever the Daima, whatever we would call that. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna jump that gap just to get
This is
spin-off
just like the
characters.
Persona stuff. Like I get it. There's definitely
Yeah.
it's just like
Like if this guy was in regular Dragon Ball, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'll get it, but I'm just because it's a different thing, I'm not interested. I want to ask you something specific here. Have you gotten any figures with these new Act 4 stands? And do you like these stands with this double joint up here? I don't. I like the classic stands more. I don't know what the
um
benefit
the
is.
last
And they have a
figure I
double
got
joint at the bottom.
was Fies, and he didn't come with a stand. So I don't think I have anything with the stand.
To me, it's too bulky. And I guess you can say it hides behind the figure. Like this part, if it's not holding a tiny figure like this. But you have the double joint at the bottom and a double joint here, and it drives me nuts that you can't get the classic Act 4 stand anymore. Not really important,
I have
though.
some
Okay.
that you can have. I have some I gotta get to my other friend too. I just gotta find them.
Don't worry about it. I have a bunch. I just was going to get more. Okay, so here's another thing. This guy is like a clown version of Jiren. He's wearing the
I
same
don't
suit.
understand this. I agree. I'm like, this is because this is supposed to take place before Dragon Ball Super, so I don't understand. I'm
I
sure
don't know if
somebody
he's
knows.
connected. Is he connected to Jiren at all? Because his suit is almost the same. And he's huge, right? He's like probably taller than the sword guy, I think. I don't know. I might be convinced if no, I don't. I'm not gonna do it.
I would say this design is not good. And when they were fighting it, I was like, this is stupid looking. Because it's just like, oh, Jiren but clown. It's weird.
Yeah, it looks like a villain from like an old Kirby video game or something. I don't get it, and I don't. Okay, it's probably a good figure. It looks like it's like
Yeah,
the
it looks like a
shoulders
good
look
figure.
good.
I
That's
would never
fine.
buy it.
Yeah, and well, we can talk about anime in a different episode. We need to get through these Toy Fair things. Yeah, so wow, we only have 20 minutes left if we cut it off at 10. Okay, so anyway, we'll talk about anime and things in other episodes. For now, I want to talk about this. This is the new super giant dragon from Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions. It's $550 for the base dragon, $150 for an alternate head and fire, and then a fired up little man. I mean, he's a normal size 7-inch figure or whatever they are. Then another $150 for a skeleton and some alternate wings. Obviously, you don't need to buy the two add-on sets, but $550 for the dragon, and you have to pay shipping, which is as much as $150 also, depending
It's
on where you live.
huge, though.
It is
Like, isn't it
huge.
like 3 feet?
I don't know if it's that big, but it's big. I mean, you might be right, but it's definitely within that ballpark. So what do you think about that? Could you, let's say you had unlimited money, would you get something like this?
I think I buy it for like I don't like the dragon design's fine. It's way too. I don't like big figures. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe my dad would like something like this, but he would never buy it at that price point. I don't think he cares that much about dragons. I liked dragons when I was a kid a lot. I have friends who like dragons, but again, this is just too big. Nobody, where would I put it?
Well, that's what she said, but also I have that same. So okay, well, do you want to weigh in any more before I go on my giant tangent of things or bunch of tangents that I have?
I think it's cool, and I think if it is like 3 feet, I think the price is probably fine. But it is definitely for like a niche audience who really wants a
Yeah,
dragon that's huge.
fair
Ornament.
enough. Okay, here's my take on it. I don't think the price is the issue, in terms of what you're getting. If it's as good as it could be, I think they're really reaching at the for the add-on things. Let me go back to that. For $150 to just get a yellow plastic man and an alternate head with some fire, that seems really
Yeah,
stretching it.
that is.
Yeah, like the fire guy, the guy that's lit up. Sure. Do I have the other? I don't currently. It's just wings and there's like a skeleton. I think both of these add-on sets are ridiculously priced. I think
Yeah,
the main dragon being 550, I'm fine with it,
it,
except
it should have
for
just been. It should have just been all three for $600.
that makes sense. I think the problem is for me, everything I've purchased from Four Horsemen has loose joints and it can't pose at all. So I don't want to buy a 3 foot dragon that can't support its own weight. And I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if it can't. And maybe they're putting all the effort into it fine, but I'm not gambling $550. Now, this is in like I may get one to review, maybe because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to sell it at the end of the day. Maybe I that kind of money is crazy though, or a green and yellow dragon, and that's my second point. If you're gonna make a dragon, I'm guessing they're going to try to recolor this and sell it again. And I'm guessing the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions fans are gonna buy these up and buy up recolors and everything, and just not worry about the space. But to me, if I'm dedicating enough space and spending enough money on a giant dragon like this, which does look cool, I'd personally this does look cool. Let me be clear. Even the colors look cool, but it's not what I'm spending $500 on. I don't want an orangish yellow and neon green dragon. Maybe black and red, maybe a darker green. I don't know. But this isn't doing it for me. The color scheme, it looks like a parrot. I don't understand the color scheme personally as a giant
yeah. I
art
don't. I don't
piece.
really agree with the color scheme either.
It's too. It looks like oops. It looks like a. The color scheme looks like a kid's toy or something. I don't know. Like it's cool, not for me. Not for $500. I'm not gambling on the My Little Pony dragon color scheme. It's too
And I
bright,
wouldn't.
too colorful.
I wouldn't get it anyway. Even like
Well, yeah, I
wouldn't.
probably
I
wouldn't
don't
either. But
like. If I could hang it from the ceiling, maybe, but then it would like walk into it.
well, if you want to hang it from the ceiling, you have to buy the alternate wings that make him look like he's flying. But I also
Yeah.
want to say, unless these alternate wings are huge, the wings look undersized, like way undersized. Me, he's a pretty girthy, pretty hulky dragon, and his wings look very small.
Yeah. Yeah. The wings should be bigger. I
So,
was trying to. I was looking at it like I don't really know how to judge dragon proportions, right? But you're
yeah, I'm
right.
not a big dragon guy either.
I think bigger wings would really help.
Guess I don't have another photo. I think the head sculpt is freaking good. I like it a lot. I like the specific details about all of it. It's just if I get it to review, maybe, but I'm definitely not buying this because I want it in my collection. It's too big, too colorful, not the kind of dragon I want with tiny wings, and it's very expensive if you want the cool parts. Let's go back to Storm Collectibles and not talk about the giant thing anymore. This is a normal size Storm Collectibles figure, which means it's going to be up about 7 inches, and it's not shaped like a brick. What do you think
It
about
looks,
that?
yeah, it looks really good, and I don't know who this character is, and
Oh, this is white
I
t-shirt guy. His name is
oh
Cody. He's a Street Fighter. But yeah, it's not the best, not the most recognizable character design. But go ahead, talk about the sculpt a little bit and
it just
articulate.
looks really good. I don't understand what sculptor they were like. Oh, yeah, you can sculpt now, and they're like, okay, like what? I they switched scales. Why are the sculpts so much better now? And the sculpts are much better.
Yeah,
Like
but this isn't. This is the big scale.
this is the big scale.
Yeah, this one and both of these
Oh,
guys. So this guy's like 8 inches. This guy's 7 inches, give or take. These are full
well,
size.
it looks really good.
It's
Why
so
isn't it the small
weird,
one?
right? Like whoever's sculpting the little ones is sculpting these ones because they're not shaped like bricks anymore. This guy, his name's
No,
Cody.
yeah,
Cody looks freaking good.
yeah.
I like that a lot. I like this. It looks like it'll work the way they've cut it out. Even you don't have any
Yeah.
big gapping, and I think it's nice. You get the musculature coming through the pants, but it doesn't look weird. I think
These
this
sculpts
looks
remind me of like the way some older toys looked, where they weren't really posable, but they had really cool sculpts and like really nice paint jobs.
yeah,
Um,
but these will be posable. I think.
but these will be really posable, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
The only thing that's killing Storm, and it's happened a lot on their figures, and it's not killing them. I shouldn't say that, but the chests always look narrow because they do have that floating cap between the shoulder and the chest. So when they're in a
Like,
hero pose, you
depending on
get
that, I mean, this thing looks good, like everything,
no.
but
I know
I
it's
worry about
still
like the ankles because their ankles on their big figures kind of suck.
they do suck, but some of them have started to get better. And if this guy has softer plastic in the pants, which they have done also, there's a chance this is like their best figure. And it's what I was saying about the chest is just we're gonna see it in a second on one of the other ones. I don't know that you get that much out of it, but anyway, it doesn't matter because once you pose him, it looks fine. But yeah, I think this is like one of the best looking figures, but he's gonna cost like probably $85. That's fair. But he looks really good, right? Like really, really
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
This
let's
looks
move
really.
on to his buddy Hager, who looks less good. The legs look good.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
he looks really square to me. Like all of the
He looks
muscles
square. It looks
seem
like his legs are too big for his body.
yeah, his chest I think
Like,
he's not as bulky as he should be on top. Bulky, buff, whatever. He should be bigger. And his pants if
I
they
mean,
were
frankly, he
loose
just
at
looks
this size,
stupid
it would
next
be
to the other
fine.
guy.
Yeah, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as Cody. I agree. I think it looks decent. Like it's fine, and if it's not ridiculously expensive, I'll get it. I mean, I'm probably gonna get it anyway because I like fighting games. But I think Cody looks way better than like I think his name is Hager. Pretty sure. Okay, let's go
Like,
on. This is the smaller scale Chun Li, very early
that
prototype.
looks really
Clearly,
good.
it looks like it could be good to me. I'm very
I
concerned.
like it.
I don't. I think this is throwing it off for me. The clip here, hiding where it tapers in, is making her look
Oh,
very
okay.
boyish and straight up and down. And obviously, Chun Li is not that. So I'm a little bit concerned. But this is
I think it's
clearly
also the
early.
vest being a vest, and if you don't have context for it and you need it
Right.
right in that dip.
I think
So
though this is going to end up looking good because their
yeah,
prototypes always look like crap, and it does look, especially if assuming they stay at the $25 price point. I think we're onto something there. Here's Cody again. Oh, his chest looks way better there too. He's a lot broader in that at that angle. But anyway, I think that looks pretty good. Looks probably less good there than in the other photo. Here's T-Hawk. This is
again, the legs look just so
yeah,
big, but I don't
same
know.
thing as the other guy. His torso. Now I'll show you another photo where he looks a little bit better. I think. I hope I have it. I think his legs look way too big for his upper body because his upper body should be huge. T-Hawk is built like a semi truck from the waist up. But let's say discounting that, what do you think about the way this figure looks?
The head sculpt's good. The paint's really good. I mean, it's a prototype. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but they tend to
Um,
put a lot of
the,
paint on. They
the
usually have.
musculature looks good. Um,
What do you
if
think
I
about the thigh
cover
cut?
more,
That's a new thing. That's a new thing for these guys.
I prefer that. I know you don't. I prefer that
I'm
vastly.
indifferent. I don't mind it. Either way, if they do it the right way, either way, I'm fine. I don't care. So, but yeah, to me, it looks gorgeous. The proportioning is
Yeah,
weird, but I
the
think
proportioning's
I have
weird.
another photo somewhere here. Well, we'll get to it maybe. Here's Bison. He looks like he's not articulated. He's just got an alternate set of arms on, so he should have the full set of articulation that you would expect. I think he looks incredible. It
Yeah,
looks
he
like
looks really good.
um this is also the full size. This is not the smaller scale, and it's he's a lot more slender than a lot of the other M Bisons, but he still has a really big lower leg. Now, granted, he has the metal boots.
That looks
There
like it
another
works
photo.
better on this.
Yeah, well, he's got the shoulder pads to. There's T Hawk. He looks a little bit better at that angle. I think I have
Yeah,
another
the other
photo
guy
of
looks good.
Bison. Now here's Zangief from Street Fighter 6, or Zangief, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I think they made his shoulders. Okay, so like he's abnormally large in game, and the way his pecs are shaped, this is actually accurate to the game, even though they look like little boobies. But to me, there's something wrong with his proportioning. Like he's too broad, his legs aren't long enough, or like he's definitely too broad across the shoulders for the rest of his body. Something's very weird about him.
I also think
There's-
it's probably difficult with the foot being twisted wrong.
well,
Like,
yeah, that's
like I
true
can't.
too.
It just makes it look strange. Simple changes like that will like throw you off. So I don't know.
Looks like you can't tell obviously too much from here, but he looks a lot more proportionate in this photo. So I'm thinking a lot of these figures look wrong at a lot of the angles that we're seeing them in. I have a couple different angles for Sagat. This is the smaller scale now. This is, well, he's big because he's Sagat. But look right here. Look, can you see my mouse, by the way? Are you able to see my mouse? Or is
Yeah.
that just the stream? Okay, so yeah, he's got the weird little goofy tiny ab crunch. I don't like that at all. But if
Yeah,
this is
I don't
anywhere
understand.
near $25, this line is gonna just sweep the floor with all the other companies, if you ask me. What do you think about that? Let's say he's even $35, which is Marvel Legends pricing at this point. What do you think about this?
It looks. I mean, all of these look amazing for the price. I don't know. Why weren't they doing this to begin with? Why did they make 1/12 figures that weren't 1/12? And
Well,
then
they
they're like,
started
well, now here's
close. They started close and then crept up to huge. But I don't know how they're doing this. This doesn't seem like you should be able to do it for 35. I don't even know what the price is. They haven't said. But Ryu only comes up. Well, you'll see in a minute how tall Ryu is. Ryu comes up to like right here. So I'm guessing he's not going to be $25 like Ryu and Ken. But even close, like I said, even if it's 35, I don't see how they're doing it. Because they're going to have the paint. They have all of the articulation. The sculpts are really nice. This Sagat looks fantastic. I don't know. Does that seem like you're getting a whole lot for your money? Because to me, it's crazy.
yeah. Wait, how much is this one?
Well, we don't know because they haven't announced his price. But Ryu's only $25.
Yeah,
So
no, this
I'm
is, yeah,
assuming
this
he's
is
going to
insane.
cost more, but he can't cost like too much more, or it wouldn't make sense. So I'm assuming it's going to be under 40. But
Like
even
the
at
only
40,
things that I don't like about them are extra things. I don't like the drop down hips, and I don't like that ab crunch thing. But
yeah,
if I was a Street Fighter fan, I'd be so happy about these.
I
They
am.
look so good.
I am thrilled. Oh, hey, I have to do a little dance. Got a new member. Member joined. Oh, you can't hear the music. There's music playing right now. It's
I
from
have
Super
to
Mario
close the
RPG.
chat because I'm realizing that my phone might burn in, and my phone's hot because it is an OLED
Don't
screen.
do that. Thanks for becoming a member. I can't tell what it says. Nate, thanks for being a new member, Nate. I guess while we're doing this, I'll grab. I think there's a super chat I have to grab. There's one. There's one. I'm not announcing every subscriber, but I have it set up to play music. Cyclops doing a pelvic thrust every time there's a new member. Where's the super chat? It also does. I think hopefully you guys who are watching the stream, have you seen Terry Bogard pop up on screen every time there's a new subscriber? I hope so. And so we have that. We have subscribers. We have members. Oh, also if there's a tip, Akuma is going to show up on screen. Not trying to promote it. Send me money. I'm kidding. Send me all the money. Oh, there's another member. It's Is it Geezy? Too many screens open. I can't see anything. Easy is a member also. Thanks for becoming a member. I'm not going to dance every time, guy. Okay. All right, you got a little dance. Where is the super chat that popped up? There it is. I lost it. Okay, super chat. Nope, that's not the right one. You have to do this.
I
This
got
is part of the
screen burn in.
YouTube
That's
thing.
awesome.
Did you get the
Shouldn't
screen
have.
to burn in?
A little bit, yeah, which sucks because I love this phone.
Is it a Samsung? I love my Samsung phone, but my screen has been, I mean, it's old, but I have so many things burnt in on that screen. Not good.
Specifically, I just have the separation between the like the video going down. That sucks.
Don't do that. Can't blame me.
No, it's my fault. I should have just ignored the chat and just. I didn't think my phone would just stay on the whole time. I was focusing on the.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Mine does that randomly too. For those of you wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to find the super chat that somebody super chatted so I can put it on the screen and answer their question or whatever it is, but I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Aztec Warrior. There it is. Where'd it go? Found it. All right. Aztec Warrior, thank you for the super chat, $1.99. Also, thanks to you guys for becoming members. Why would they include extra figures for the add-on? Yeah, I don't know. He's talking about the dragon. I guess because they're dragon specific. Like you have the burning one and then the charred skeleton. Super cool. It's just the price is crazy. Got another super chat, it looks like, from Nate. Yes, thank you for $2. He said awesome. I think that was for the Mario RPG music and Cyclops humping the air. I am a 9-year-old. And someone said subscribe so we can see Terry Bogard. I'm guessing everybody's already subscribed, and I don't think it'll work if you unsubscribe to redo it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe, and Terry should pop up in the bottom and do a little thing. Okay, no sound effect for that one, though, because it would potentially be too much. Okay, back to business. Yeah, this figure I think is gorgeous, awesome. Don't like the drop-down hips. However, they're not in a weird position in the neutral. So I can just ignore it probably and be okay with it. I hate that ab crunch thing. They better have rotation. I'm almost positive they do. They better have rotation underneath it. But it's so goofy looking. They really didn't need that. All right. Gonna cough. Okay, let's move on. There's more. There's Dan. Look how not bulky. Look how slender. Like that looks exactly like Dan should look like at that scale. I love it. This line's gonna be just wonderful, and you can see I think at the ankles it looks like they're going to move better than the big figures, so that's really good. That's something you mentioned earlier, Brian, about the ankles. That's true. The ankles do suck on the big ones. I think on these ones they're going to be nice. There's not much to say about him. Oh no, is that the last photo? Where are my other photos? I guess that's all the photos.
We have the Mach 5 to talk about, but
oh yeah, you didn't mention that.
I did.
When we were talking about Goku, so I forgot. So I don't have a photo for that. You can talk about it though. We'll just do some chatting, and we'll wrap the stream up here pretty soon. Anyway, we nailed the 2-hour mark as far as the Toy Fair coverage. That's good.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. We got a couple member dances in, so that's good. Let's talk about the Mark V real quick. You want to send me? I can send me like a link or a photo or something so I can put it on the
screen. I sent a link when I was talking about, but it probably just got overshadowed.
Oh, is that on here or is that? Which
chat
is
if
that?
You scroll up, it's in this one. It's right below Goku, or like you see my links and then
yeah
right above it.
Oh, there it is. Is the first link the Mark V?
The second one.
Mach 5. I see it. Okay, click on that. Oh no, I don't want to click on it. Copy it and put it into a different browser so By the way, guys, if I ever accidentally screen share my personal information, please take it. You'll do better with it than I will. Okay, I'm over 16. Accept cookies. Oh my gosh, why does Bandai make me do all this every time I go to one of their websites? All right, so this is the Mark V. This is Speed Racer's car, and this is Brian's favorite thing. He calls it Judy.
You do that.
I don't do that. All right, talk about it, whatever you want to talk about it, because I don't know anything about it.
It's not on the screen for me. Is it on the screen?
Not.
It might be on for them.
It should.
Oh, it is. It is for them. It's not on for me. So that's fine.
Why is it not on for you? Friggin' Discord doesn't work.
I think it's because you're only sharing one window.
I said the whole screen.
Oh.
Let me see if I can. Maybe if I. Is that doing it?
Stream paused. Just minimize their application.
Oh, is it because I scrolled?
I can just look at the.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Uh, it looks really good. I was talking to my brother about it. It looks really good. It looks like similar to the Tyrol Choco one that was made in like 2009. Um,
I love the profile on this car. It's so cool.
and the price is stupid. It shouldn't be. I mean, this thing should be like $200 probably.
What size
I
is
don't
it?
know.
Because that's really
2019
expensive.
scale. 2019
So,
scale.
like
And there
7
are like
inches?
diecast
What
cars.
is that? How big is that? 7 inches?
It's a foot long, I believe.
What's a foot? Okay, well, that still seems really expensive.
It's like the second one to ever have the light up headlights. So that's good.
Is this going through to the stream? It has to be. Why does it look like it's not?
Yeah, it is. But I have to get out of it because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I can somehow like undo a little bit of the burn, I'm so mad at myself. Because it's mostly just a line separation where the video was. Like I don't see live chat and stuff, thankfully.
Okay, figure it out later. Focus on the car. Focus, man.
So
Focus.
I think it looks really good.
I think it looks freaking cool, and I don't even like this thing. So it's something.
Some people don't like that it's like blue on the bottom, but it's like up for debate whether or not it's actually blue on the bottom. I think it looks cooler when it's blue on the bottom. And it has all the gimmicks. It doesn't have the wings.
It doesn't have the wings for $500. That bothers me.
The wings are used like once, and so
I don't care. For $500, I better come with a Burning Man.
You're right.
And a
Yeah.
Dragon head.
The interesting thing is the yen price is like 370. Like if you just adjust it to US, but the US distributed price is like 505.
Hold on. So the yen price though is it would be 500 if we didn't have the benefit of the dollar being better than the yen. So it is currency conversion wise like 300 something, you said, if you buy it internationally.
Yeah. Okay. But it shouldn't be 5,500 yen to begin with.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know why they did that. Like I was tempted not to get it, but it was on AmiAmi for like 320. So I did end up getting it.
Definitely buy it internationally if you can. But the thing is, this is a big ass price point and item. If you get a defect or something, you're buying it from AmiAmi or HLJ or somebody like that, you might be screwed big time.
Yeah. I'm hoping that maybe eventually the US companies just don't sell it too well and it goes cheap.
But you said is this PB or is this going to be just
It's regular, but only like 2 US, 3 US places have it in stock, but it's all the exact same price, so it is a distributor.
Yeah, and it's 500 or what is it? What is it in
the US? It's 505.
505. Damn. So well, it's a Chogokin, so it's probably not going to be full of defects, I would assume. But that's a lot of white paint that you could have like a hair or something stuck in, and then you might be stuck if you get that overseas. Well, you did, so let me know how it turns out. That's so cool. Though. Like I don't really care about Speed Racer at all, but that car, this looks like the thing to get if you're into Speed Racer. It's very cool. The tires are rubber, I'm guessing, right? Like real.
I'm assuming so, and they also come with the alternate tires, which I
saw that. I was just gonna say they just popped up on screen. I like the standard ones. This thing's awesome. I'll never buy it because I don't have unlimited money by any means, and I don't care. But it is really cool.
Yeah, and they showed it off for like over a year now. And I was like, oh no, is this gonna vanish and they're never gonna actually release it? But they did. They actually put it up.
And it does light up, right?
Yes, the headlights light up.
And you said it's 1/18th, so can you put different people in it, or are you stuck with Skippy Johnson or whatever his name is?
You can. They swap out. So if you want to put other people in it, you can. So they're not stuck. Because I'm not going to have them in there.
Who are you going to put in it?
No one.
No one. I know. But you could. What? Do they actually come out, or is it the whole chair that changes? Where'd that photo go?
It's a whole chair that changes, and that's because they would just slide around.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a freaking cool thing. I hope you enjoyed. I want to know when you get it. Um, but man, it is a really cool car design, honestly. I have it in GTA. I drive around in this in GTA all the time. But in real life, I don't have this. Very cool. All right, is there anything else you wanted to talk about for this?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, I have to was there something? Oh, hold on. People are sending money. We have to deal with the money. Let me see here. I have my TV set for 4K and it's too far away for me to read anything. I should have set it for different. All right, there's a couple of super chats. Oh, someone did subscribe. Did you guys get to see Terry? I think they did. All right, hold on. Couple of super chats. Wrap things up. All right, is this the next super chat? I think yes. Jason, let me minimize this. I'm gonna have to rework some things here. All right. Jason Newton for $9.99. Thank you very much. That looks like it should be a maximum Sagat. Oh, we didn't talk about Spider-Man at all. We'll talk about the maximum Spider-Man next time. Because all I have to say is how bad it is. Like, it's a cool figure, but for 25 bucks. Anyway, that looks like it should be a maximum Sagat, so it should be 50 bucks, right? Isn't that the new norm? Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wanted to talk about Storm Arena a little bit more, and maybe I'll just do a separate video. This line, if it is anywhere near as good as it looks like it's going to be at the current price point that it's supposed to stay at, it's going to just obliterate all the competition. Everybody's all happy about Jada. Jada this, Jada that, and they did do a great job, and they're still doing a great job. More power to them. To say that the Jada ones look better than the Storm Arena figures is just nonsense. It's not even close. And if they're at the same price point and continue to be at Storm Arena is going to take over everything. And Storm's definitely capable of putting out good products. And so if they can just keep that price point down, it's going to be something highly unusual. Especially with $50 Marvel Legends coming out. You can buy Ken and Ryu for the same price as one lousy Spider-Man. No thanks. No thanks. All right. There was one more super chat, I believe. The CM Brock, you have been around for a long time, sir. Thanks for being here. Good to see you doing live streams again. Good to see you watching live streams again. What I like to see. I enjoy doing the live streams, and if you guys like it, we're going to continue doing this. I think Brian, you fared very well for your first live performance in front of an audience of millions, and
Oh yeah,
so
no,
good job to you, sir.
thank you.
And I performed as average as I try to keep it right there, so I don't set expectations too high. And you guys performed well. A lot of audience. I think we had a good time. I didn't get to see too much of the chat because we were doing a lot of talking, but I think we have to do that. I can't spend all night answering chat, or we'll never have a topic. So we'll try to find a good middle ground, a good balance. Hopefully, at some point over on my screen here, next to above my head, there will be a thing. Well, it'll be up there. That shows when Brian's talking, unless we can convince him to go on camera, because that would be better if you ask me, but we're not going to force him or pressure him. Anyway, it'll show his icon and it'll light up when he talks. We had that set up before the stream, and Discord was like, nah, nope, not doing that. So anyway, we're going to work out the kinks. We're going to keep doing this. It's going to be every other Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it'll be 2 weeks from today. We'll have different topics. I think one of them will be things we want to have made. I would love to have that talk.
Oh yeah.
It's Alfonso. It's actually not a Link icon. He picked something else from Zelda because he's a big fat phony who's not actually the expert on Link artwork. But yeah, we'll talk about things we want to have made. Like I told you guys earlier, Brian is all about the materials and engineering and all the stuff I talk about in my reviews. I talk to him about it too. So we'll get to have a lot of technical conversations. This isn't going to just be like a fluff stream where we just talk about what's new, that kind of stuff. We'll do that. It's going to be fun, but hopefully it's informative and interesting for you guys also. And if you guys have topics you want us to discuss, this will be a viewable video at some point after either tonight or tomorrow morning. You can just leave it in the comment section there, and we can probably pull topics. like that. And we will have guests at some point for sure. Right now, I'm having trouble getting StreamYard to work properly, as you might have noticed. I'm not using. That's it. I'm not using StreamYard. I'm using OBS, like an OG game streamer. So we'll have guests at some point, but I don't know how we're gonna do that because this is not a news channel. It's not a channel that is just a podcast. It's my channel. So bringing on lots of guests, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I think just like occasionally.
Yeah,
It's not a podcast.
definitely. It's not gonna be. This is not a
Special
podcast.
occasions.
Podcast. Yeah,
And
it'll
that'll
be a
actually make
special.
it more interesting. If we brought in a new guest every time, it'd be like, well,
Yeah, for sure. And I'm definitely gonna kick Brian out because he offended somebody at one point talking about Persona. So we have to
yeah.
replace Brian. No, no. But as far as guests go, we'll do guests. I don't know that you guys will expect all of the guests that we're gonna have on, which will either be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but we'll be doing that at some point. And some of the streams will be more relaxed, more conversational. Some will be more diving into the nitty gritty of things, and we'll have different topics for each stream too. Like it's a 2-hour stream typically, but we probably will talk about a couple different things per night, depending on how it goes. But I think it went well tonight. If you guys liked it, let me know. If you haven't liked the video yet, do that. If you're watching it, if you haven't subscribed to do that, you'll get to see Terry pop up on the screen. It'll be right here. You'll see Terry right there. If you want to send money, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just letting you know what happens. If you send money using the link in the description, Akuma shows up right here. And that's he does things, and it's cool. I should do a thing for super chats. I'll do that. Next time, super chats will show up on screen. Here. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, you guys got to see Cyclops. Okay, everything worked. Brian, anything you want to say? I think this went considerably well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do too.
You want to come back? You want to do it again?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be here. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I have anything else to say. I mean, we'll be talking more about like topics that aren't just this every time. So
Yeah,
we'll actually be
like
able to-
anime and movies and anything. We'll have like, you know what we should do? How about this? How about this? How about every stream we have like a half hour where we just talk about random shit? Want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know if we want to spend like too much time going on anime, or even movies or whatever.
But we do. I would. I mean, we could. I still like the idea of doing themed episodes.
Oh,
Then we
no,
can
Dad, still
prepare.
do themes, but like have a bullshit segment cooked into
Yeah,
every
yeah, that's
episode.
fine
That
too.
might be fun. That might be fun. You can always count on us to not mix in things that aren't pop culture related, though. We're not going to get into that. So that'll be fun. It'll always be a fairly lighthearted thing, I think. Till unless some people start spitting some booty chatter, and then we might have to clap back. I'm using lingo. All right, are we done? I think we're done. You done?
Yep.
Anything else?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, do the subscription. You'll see Terry on screen. If you haven't liked the video, do that. You won't see anything happen, but I'll appreciate it. And if you haven't become a member, you can do that. Oh, that's the other thing. At some point, we will introduce like a special stream at the end of the stream that's a members only thing, or something like that, something for the members of the channel. That way they get some kind of special privileges. Other than right now, you just get to see videos ahead of time before I publish them sometimes. So we'll work that out. But if you want to be a member, do that. If you want to save it for during a live stream, do that because then something shows up on screen. It's up to you. But that's it from me. So again, thanks for watching. Well, here, Brian, you want to say bye first before I do my usual bullshit?
Yeah. This was fun, and I'm glad that you all had me. And I hope everybody has a good night.
Well said. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do it. If you haven't liked it, do that, and stick around on the channel in general. If you didn't watch the whole thing, it will be published. You can watch the whole stream from beginning to end as a regular video. I will have new videos going forward on the week like normal, almost every single day. And if I don't have something, I do have thousands already on the channel. So come back for all of that good stuff. And in the meantime, where's my outro thing? Keep collecting.